chance and now I got my wish. But you slipped in my life like a thief in the night. Then you took me with you. Angels all around, cheering me on. Walls are caving in, I feel reborn. Try to catch a break, been waiting for a love like this. I'm taking leave, my baby, if you'll be mine. Hold on to me, I'll jump tonight. Finally, I think I'm ready for a love like this.
Silence fills this empty space, and I can't get out the stain you left on everything. Don't pretend you're no good, 'cause I can see your sunshine dripping out your sleeves onto my lifeline. Oh, good, though you didn't mean to leave a trail for me, but you didn't know Trevor it is. It's alright with me. If it's alright with you, then I could be whatever it is that you need me to, my love. 'Cause you're golden. 'Cause you're golden. Let me shine like one would be if they hadn't been love right. Sleeping all the time, I know why you stay inside. Safer to save your life.
Did we transition? Are we here?
We are live.
Oh, wait, oh. We are as well.
Seems to be working. Oh, shouldn't be expressed. Just hit my mic. I'm just going to mute the stream because that's not okay.
Take it away, Jamie.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We're D&D Boyband, a group of dorks that all like to play D&D pretty boys, because apparently it's not fantasy and it's everybody's heart. This is an original D&D campaign set in the critical role world of Exandria, taking place 10 years after the events of CR1. Whilst the Council of Taldore deal with the aftermath, tensions are growing within the heartland of Taldore and deep beneath the ground. I'm Dungeon Master Jamie. Joining me tonight are the Spice Boys. Let me first introduce Clued as Rasha, Sai as Aku, Luke as Ascor, Lauren as Ghost, and Erin as Haydn. Unfortunately, we are missing Eski, who's playing Zug this evening, but he should be back next week. To kind of get you up to speed on the entire campaign so far, we started off with an airship crash landing in the Taurian forest. The party that would eventually come to be known as the Spice Boys banded together to survive and make it back to civilization. Along the way, they encountered rabid Goliaths and discovered that a werewolf plague was infecting them, slowly turning them lupine and causing them to lose control. The party promised to take vials of their corrupted blood to a man called Ezekiel in hopes of finding a cure. They took these vials to Mizem Keep, the Center for Education and Magic in the Silvercut Crossroads. There, they met an academic in residence, Ghost, who joined the group. Together, they found Ezekiel in Harrisbine, but discovered he was a cultist of Zahir who wanted the blood for his own nefarious means, and the party escaped before he could attack. Ezekiel sent drow assassins after the Spice Boys, but the group dispatched them, bar one, Nadan. The group somehow befriended him and revealed he was escaping a plague of undeath in the Underdark, not dissimilar to the plague they were escaping above ground. They were then approached by a mind flayer named Stravdig, who warned them a force was corrupting mind flayer colonies, originating from an elder brain called Cyrog. Ascor bore the mark of that same force, but somehow wasn't controlled by it, and could move unseen by the hive mind. Once Aku slew Stravdik at the behest of Lanharath, the party travelled to the Underdark to see if the matters were indeed connected. They found the Dan's village of Ryonva changed, eerie red eye banners replacing Lolth's spider insignia. Once they discovered and banished the demon responsible, they continued to Netherlight Grove to seek out the true cause of the Mind Flayer corruption. In the Netherlight Grove, the Spice Boys learned Zugtami, the demon queen of fungi, had been summoned into the material plane via an Geboleth corpse. They destroyed her planar anchor and escaped to the air-entable plane, where they were safe, but in freefall for about 24 hours. On their return, the group found an injured Nadan and Haydn, a courier and sharpshooter who had rescued him. The group pressed on to Cyrog, only stopping at Ghost's behest to take some petrified feathers from the living statues of the betrayer god Solars along the way. A great idea. They infiltrated Cyrog with the aid of a Mind Flayer spy, Timofrazi, and found an undead Elder Brain and another Geboleth corpse at the root of the corruption. On defeating it and replacing it with a fresh Elder Brain from Ghost's bag, a new portal opened, drawing Orcus, the demon lord of the undead, into the world. The Mind Flayer colony, now freed from the corruption and regenerating, attacked and stunned Orcus long enough for Rasha to banish him. Banishment caused him to drop his wand, and the party grabbed it, before using Zug's genie companion to plane shift into the Feywild. Many creatures in the Feywild tempted and threatened the party for the wand, and the group was split on whether they should get rid of it to prevent further trouble, or keep it safe and find a way to destroy it. The group finally returned to the Silvercut Crossroads undecided. They make a brief stop to visit the temples of their respective gods, and when Haydn walked through the magical gate, expecting to visit the Temple of Geb with Rasha and Zug, he was instead taken to the sacrificial altar of Orcus. Fearing the wand would be taken from him, he panicked and attuned to it, miraculously surviving the process and escaping. Haydn interrogated the two voices coexisting inside the wand of Orcus, now codenamed the Cucumber, and learned the only way to destroy the wand was to return it to the grave of Archmage Vespin Chloras. After researching, the boys determined he was likely to be buried near Rosohna. Before they could depart, a giant purple worm attacked the city and the group killed it, saving many civilians. The guard captain of the Silver Crossroad thanked them, but Ascor, fearing his use of magic would be reported to his father, tried to modify her memory. She collapsed, and in the ensuing chaos, the Spice Boys were accused of being connected to the murder of Hannah Wasserman, a member of the Taldore Council. After a heartfelt and uncastrated apology from Ascor, the Spice Boys managed to clear their name, fetched Nadan, and finally headed to Rosohna via Ghost Teleportation Circle, which is where we found ourselves last session, as the group arrived in an unexpectedly lavish mansion that belonged to their friend Ghost. Upon meeting some of his family, as well as some servants, and being kept in the guest wing, they were summoned to dinner. Although there are much suspicion following Ghost, given his connection to his brother, and the purple star plaguing Aku's dreams. We begin this session as they walk into the dining room to have dinner with Ghost's parents. And now, Spice Boys, what will you do?
Do any of you have
I would
this
like to
feeling
ask
that
a
your
question briefly.
whole life just
Could I
flashed
just
before
get
your
a
eyes?
reminder of the... Sorry there, please. Could I just ask Amy quickly for a reminder of the parents' names, if we got them?
Absolutely. Merrar Everthale is Ghost's mother, and Kildra is Ghost's father. You know that Kildra is the religious advisor to the Bright Queen.
You know, I'm just saying right now, like, Kildra's a proper sus name. Like, he literally has kill in his name. He must be evil.
He sounds like a proper
Too obvious.
Not too obvious. Maybe it's like a red herring to throw us off the scent.
We don't need a red herring when Ghost is around in this building.
I know. You're sus, mister.
That's a stinky fish right there.
Just kind of
Anyway.
I think everybody is there except for Zug, who is feeling unwell upstairs. You're all kind of waiting outside the doors, and kind of Balthrun is there, kind of waiting for your gesture to allow yourself entry.
So, just to clarify, we're all dressed in some fancy dinner garb right now, right?
Yes.
What's
look.
the kind of look? It's robes, right? We talking silks? We talking...
Yes. Very long purple silks. Kind of quite a lot of the black insignia. There's quite a few imagery of the Luxon kind of inscribed around this. Kind of a lot of the shoulders are quite pointed.
Is Ghost also wearing a long silken purple robe?
Ghost is the only one who hasn't changed.
Oh man.
Guys, do you feel like we maybe all look a bit like cultists? You know, we got these shoulders and things.
I mean, I guess maybe you just assume that all foreign religions are a cult rather than, an organized group of people well-meaningly worshipping a greater deity.
I don't know, I just feel like this is a kind of prank or something. Although everyone looks really, really handsome. It's very, very nice.
Hey, purple suits you guys. You fit in right here.
Rasha, let me ask you. Aren't you the sole cleric of a deity? Aren't you in a cult?
It is not really a cult if there is really only just one of me, right?
How many makes a cult?
How many people do you need to have a cult? I suppose there is Haydn.
Well, it
Well,
sounds
I'm-
like a cult with
I'm in the
bad
cult.
marketing.
I mean, the religion. I mean, it's not a cult. Zug's in it too.
So I guess the Church
That's
of Geb
true.
stands at 3 members. So is that a cult of 3?
What about your girlfriend in the crossroads?
She's not my, well, she's a friend and she is a girl, but she's not my,
Girlfriend.
romantic interest. I don't,
Sounds-
we just hammer together,
Of course you did.
Hammer what
Yeah.
together?
or metals and things.
Is it hard?
Yeah, really, it is actually really hard work. And
Is it hot?
Yeah, well, it is in a forge, Haydn.
So you would say it's
hot.
you spend a lot of hot and hard time with your girlfriend.
Well, when you put it this way, I cannot help but feel. Yeah, it is true.
Say no more.
Hayden looks at Aku to see his reaction to Rasha having a hot and hard time with his girlfriend.
His face doesn't change.
Insight check.
Are we still being ushered in?
Belfron is kind of waiting. See, those of you with high passive insights can see there might be a little bit of impatience.
Anyway, I
Um,
don't suppose you want it to get cold, eh?
Wait, are you guys serving dinner?
As before we walk
Hayden
in,
barges forward.
Oh, sorry, Luke.
Before we walk in, Ascor sort of softly holds the ghost by the arm, says, "Ghost, what do people eat here?"
Yeah. Oh, you
Yeah.
mean like in this country or like in this house?
Or both. We're in both.
We're in both, that's true. Like raw eggs and like tentacle stuff, like really, really deep sea stuff that like is see-through and like all the bones are see-through, so you don't know whether you're eating slime or bone.
Can I insight check that, Jamie?
Yeah, go for it.
Alright. Let's roll a die. Does it come through? Let me see what it rolled. Not rolling, baby. No. No.
While
Yeah, no.
Ascor is asking
Let me
Ghost
roll
this
it
question
through,
about the
the
food,
interest.
Hayden just shoves past both of them and barges up to the door. He's like, I'm hungry, let's go!
Of course. Master Ilenia, I believe it would probably be appropriate if you go first.
Lenya.
Wait, are there rules? Which fork do you use? People are funny about forks, right?
Just
As Ghost walks past everyone, he just does this to Ascol. And then
so
goes
gross.
through the doors.
On
Long
that note, I did roll a 23
He's obviously-
on insight check.
He's obviously pulling your leg.
Yeah.
Like every interaction.
Hayden ducks over to Rasha when he starts panicking with the cutlery, and he says, just look at whoever's in charge and just copy them. You can't go wrong. Just copy whoever's in charge. Okay, let's go. Come on.
In charge. Okay.
Yeah.
He steps in with Haydn, ushered forward.
Okay. As you walk in, it's a very long dining room. Kind of a traditional, like, long table there. There's got many chairs around it. A lot of the ornaments look quite fine. A lot of silver. kind of blue flames. You can do a lot of tapestries of kind of you recognize some of the family you would have seen before. Seem to be some kind of stretching back a little bit further. Those of you with a higher perception will notice there is amongst the lots of the drow, there is the occasional tiefling who doesn't seem to be ghost. So you may infer that the ghost is not an unusual occurrence in this family, if a rare one at least.
Wait, Haydn kind of moves over to Ghost and is like, "Are all these your family members?"
Well, you didn't think that it was just the four of us that lived in this giant house, did you?
Well, it's just the four of you in the family photo, so clearly these guys are all scrubs or something.
Well, I mean, I guess it's cool if you think of your family as scrubs, but I wouldn't say that at all.
They're all siblings.
No, it's like any points to various people. It's like, yeah, aunt, uncle, mum's side, second cousin wants roofs. Oh, that's my grandma's second husband, and like all his people that he brought with him. It's a whole thing.
Do you always all get together for dinner like this?
I mean,
sorry to clarify, these are people in pictures.
Oh, I thought they were all physically in the room.
No, they're not physically in the room. There are only two other people in the room.
I was
Never
getting
mind.
worried for a second. I was like, did I just walk into this room as a human?
No, there's only two other people in the room, as you see forward. One is who you've met before. The other is as he stands up, is a very tall, even for a drow. Actually, so I think he doesn't look like a lot of drow you've seen are quite slender. He's cut on the larger side, and as you turn around, he's got a kind of it's a very narrow face, even for his size, and again, the hair is a bit more muscly, a bit kind of messier, and wearing similar robes to you all on are, but a little bit more finely. And he kind of, as he looks, he throws out his arms and is like, "You're home. How's my favorite troublemaker?"
like how you didn't say son, and I guess he goes and embraces his dad. It's
By
fine,
the light
Dad.
of the Luxon, you return.
I mean, by the light of something, for sure. Definitely. All those school books you had me read came in handy, eh? It brought me straight back here.
And your friends. I must say, I'm glad originally, Brianna was coming over for dinner. Not quite sure that's be useful.
Well, that would have been interesting, but no. This is the gang, I guess. I've been helping these guys find their way through the world. The philanthropy that I'm so often inclined towards, helping poor lost souls, and stuff like that.
I'm sure you have many stories to tell us, and I'm eager to hear them all. As for your friends, please, and you see that kind of seats are arranged. I'm sure if you would like to introduce yourselves. I am, of course, Kildra, the master of this house, and master of Den Eberthil.
You guys gonna sit down, or he says as he sits down, still looking at everyone awkwardly?
Rasha just leans to whoever's closer to him and just whispers, "Wait, do we know which seat we sit at? Is there is it prescribed seating? Where do we?"
Yeah, all the favorites sit close to me.
Aku shrugs and just sits as far away from Ghost as possible.
Rasha probably goes and sits next to Aku and just looks really uncomfortable in his chair and just folds his arm in his lap and just stares at the plate and tries really hard not to look at the hosts.
Haydn takes the invitation and goes and sits right next to Ghost. Looks very pleased with himself.
Ascor pauses for a moment and sort of looks behind him, over each shoulder, and sort of a little surprised and remembers, that there's not someone there to pull his chair out for him. And so he kind of pulls his own chair out. It's a little awkward doing it, perhaps, and steps in front, sits down. Again, no one pushes it, no one tucks him in, so he pulls it in himself. So...
and Kildra kind of claps his hands, and a couple of well-dressed kind of drow emerge, along with the occasional kind of hobgoblin stumble out with a vast assortment of food that kind of gets put down in front of you. A lot of it is kind of reminiscent of kind of a mishmash of East Asian dynastic period food. There's kind of grilled zucchini, some eggs which seem to have kind of been drizzled over with kind of a mushroom-based soy sauce. There's a lot of root vegetables and glasses with seem to be flavored with garlic, horseradish, and ginger. Some kind of plum wine has been put over. Some is served to you guys each as kind of a sake. There's steamed eggs, rice. Seems to be very. It all smells fantastic, and it seems to all be put in front of you, as if it's kind of for you to kind of take and put on your plate. So, Elenia has returned with friends, some of them human. Who are you?
Just stuffing his face with food, and he's like, "Oh, you're
Jamie, can I just say
Wanda-
that meal sounds fucking just like delicious.
Already had dinner, man, but
I nearly
Bruh.
said that. Now I'm so hungry now.
Don't be shy. As I said, if Fabiana was here, you may well have already been arrested, but you must be here for a reason.
That would have been so funny. I was like low-key hoping that would happen, but maybe another day.
Did not say we would be arrested.
No, I said Ascor and Aku might be arrested.
But that is just as bad. It is worse.
That's worse than everyone getting arrested.
Aku could get me out of jail, but I could not get Aku out of jail, you know?
I don't think anyone's getting out of any jails here.
Oh.
I had the occasional drunken, disorderly night, and yeah, no one's getting out of them.
So just a question on the food, because we talk about what's important in this group.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is this even remotely similar to what Rasha would have eaten growing up in the Underdark? Like, there's a mushroom base, or is it just completely...
Some of it would definitely be reminiscent. It's very much like kind of those kind of earthy foods. There is a lot more mixture of kind of above ground stuff. This is definitely tastier than what you would have imagined, but you're used to things that kind of use mushroom and mushroom sauce as a base. Yeah,
And there's no
a very
hairy...
fancy version.
There's no hairy Underdark yak.
No.
Oh, okay.
My God.
Just clarifying. Cool.
Not like you to not have much to say.
Rasha asked about the forks. Is there anything unusual about the cutlery or about etiquette here?
No, there are 2 sets of knives and forks out, along with a set of dessert cutlery as well on top.
As soon as food is put in front of Aku, he just sort of shovels as much of it onto his plate, starts using the dessert cutlery, and just like starts eating, completely ignoring whatever ghost parents are saying.
In a similar way, I'm just reaching across, stabbing zucchinis with my fork, stabbing some meat, bringing it onto my plate. Not even, some of it's not even making it to my plate. It's just going like straight from serving dish to mouth. And then when Ghost's dad is like, "So how do you guys know Ghost?" I turn to him and I'm like, "Oh, so Ghost and I are like really good friends, and I even saved his life recently. So like, we're like really tight after that. So yeah, we're buddies, aren't we, Ghost?" And he like, I mean Elenia, and he like gives him a little nudge.
Ghost smiles widely at Haydn and turns to his dad and just goes.
And as Ghost turns away, I'm like,
He smiles at you. Well, it's lovely to meet you, Haydn. I must say, Ghost must have been quite rough on the road. You all seem starving looking at Aku and Haydn.
Grew up in a tree, I think. So I don't know how much food is in trees, but yeah. It's weird for you not to have much to say, Ascor.
About trees? Well, there are plentiful and fantastic resource, very rudimentary. Stone, of course, when it comes to fortifications, well, it's the premium.
I mean, trees are fine, I guess.
Is that what you had in mind?
Exactly.
Ascor puts his hand up and waves to one of the waiters.
Yeah, they come over and they like lean down and go, "Yes, sir."
I would like another napkin, and also, could you refill my wine glass, please?
Of course, sir. It goes away and comes back with another napkin and another bottle and presents it to you. The plumber again, sir?
Do you have anything better vintage?
Most certainly. Goes away and comes back with a date that you don't recognize, unless you know the kind of how the Kryn date things. But it's a bottle of red wine.
I suppose that will do.
Very well. I can give you another glass. This one, crystal, and you recognize it as kind of like quite a large base. Kind of puts it for you and swirls it for you and puts it back down.
So also,
And we'll need some light music in here.
Oh, the cheek of this guy. I can't.
What would sound like?
Something appropriate.
Very well. Can see him go over to Kildra, and Kildra whispers in his ear. We'll fetch something. They are guests. To be treated as such. And he kind of disappears. And we'll see what happens with that.
I can't believe I just got
turns to his dad and says in Elvish, so Haydn will be able to understand this, but you know, if we did want to put someone in a prison, that's possible though, right?
I snort and some of my drink comes out of my nose and I'm like trying to like grab a tissue and mop it up.
There's like a big smile on his face, and he goes, "That one," looking at Ascor.
And community service, maybe.
I jump in Elvish, but wait, putting him in jail sounds fun, but there is actually a really big reward available for him right now, so we would want to collect that before we would put him in a Kryn prison, right?
Yeah,
well,
I'm
very
sure
with the conversation going on around him, as if people are talking about him or someone's, you know, as if he's been introduced almost.
Yeah, I guess because we're like glancing at you every so often.
I'm sure the Dungeons of Penance has room, as always.
Although...
But I do not take it upon myself to imprison your friends or my guests. And he again switches back to common. I mustn't be rude, of course. If you're all hungry, please eat, and then we will discuss further. My wife tells me that you have recently seen Elania's brother as well. Am I misinformed? How is he?
He's doing okay. You know, he's just been really busy lately. They didn't really get a chance to speak to him much, because you know how he is. He gets invested in his work, and yeah.
That's always been very serious. Mm-hmm. Much more serious than Son, but still serious.
He is really so good. Is your other son. He is really great. Do you have any milk?
I'm sure we could get some. Cow or goat.
You know, whatever is cheaper. Never mind.
Rasha, I don't think these guys are hurting for... Ew.
You know, the goats are fine. I like the goats ones.
Get him one of each. Get him one of each. You can try both.
And at this point, the one who got sent the music comes back in and kind of hands 3 stones to and he kind of like places one, and you see him kind of tap it a little bit, and there are the sound of violins start playing out very gently, kind of filling the room ever so slightly, as the stone kind of begins to vibrate ever so slightly on the table.
Dang, he's got an iPod.
iPod Mini. Place is out of date, man.
Now I know what children can be like. I was young too once. What brings
can
you
remember.
back?
Oh, straight to the point then, I guess. No, just nice
Well, it's
meal.
lovely to see you, but I don't think you've come just to see us.
No.
Haydn takes his fork from the table and slides it off and puts it under the table now.
Well, like I said, I'm doing a bit of philanthropy, helping these guys with the stuff that they need help with. And it happens they have some business that is probably going to take us into the Bob Fields. And I guess, who better than me to take them there?
Bob Fields. Well, I suppose if anybody would be fine out there, there kind of goes, you have to. It is dangerous.
How many times have I come back from that? Totally fine.
Fine, but always scratches and I don't know. Sometimes you came back and you were incoherent for days.
And you know what it's like, especially when you go away with the gang and everyone gets a bit crazy. You have to be a bit crazy to go out there. It'll be fine. I mean, I am an adult. I have been living away from home for quite a while.
I don't know what.
So.
Yeah. Do I get the sense from Kildra's, or sorry, was it his mom's kind of tone that it certainly wasn't a bender. It was something different.
I go for it.
Basically, I want to insight check. Does Ghost have friends besides us?
Wow.
Oh, sorry. Would it be insight check?
Oh,
I don't. Yeah, I don't know if you find that out. The bender. Yeah, go for it. You're kind of insight checking her reaction to Ghost's words or Ghost.
Why are my insight checks so bad? Rolled an 8. Seems legit, right?
Yeah, it's pretty legit. I don't know what was worse. I don't know if it was you going out there or Roman going out there. I know boys are boys, but we worry. We still worry.
Well, we've got to go out and experience stuff, and I'm back. I'll go, but I'll be back again, and Roman will be back, and then he'll get, I don't know, following your guys' footsteps or whatever it is prodigal sons do, all that kind of stuff. We'll be fine.
Neither of you have even been consecuted yet. Just be safe.
I don't know if that's in my future, to be honest.
What is a
Millennia, your
consecution?
research.
What are you? Is it like an execution? Are you killing your sons or what?
Quite the opposite.
Oh.
I see that despite bringing you here, they haven't quite had an education, have they?
They didn't even know
Rasha?
this place existed, so.
Rasha, in your head, you hear, I wouldn't press this issue. I think they mean circumcised.
What is circumcised? He says aloud.
Here's a looks at you.
Ascor's not looking up, he's just cutting away.
Consecution.
I am a blacksmith, I'm from the Underdark, and I think it is really different, this place. You have this big house and all the buildings above ground, and you can see the sky, which is sort of why do you have the sky here? How do you not all just burn in the daytime?
Well, you've come not only with my son, but also only points to Nadan. Where are you from?
Oh shit, I forgot to dance here.
That just looks straight down. He like looks up and goes for guidance.
He's like an exchange student from not far from here.
We are really good friends. Nadan is like he's not really my cousin, but he's sort of like my cousin.
Yeah, and until recently, he was actually fully mute. He suffered from a throat injury, and now he can't speak. So, so that's why he's not very talkative. Isn't that right, Nadan? And Haydn like nods, like really encouragingly.
You can make a deception check.
He's really quiet, so he's a really good assassin, you know. But not that he does that anymore. But
Rasha!
He's not that good of an assassin. He didn't
that
kill
is
any
true.
of you guys, so.
That is true.
I rolled a
Sorry to Dan.
I rolled a 13 on deception.
Excuse you.
Okay.
Are you not sure you're getting your friends mixed up? I don't wish to be rude, but it looks like somebody else at this table has had a throat injury.
Mom.
And is also surprisingly quiet.
Haydn just shoves more food in his mouth and.
Like, you know I've been traveling.
You didn't not only bring 2 humans, but one of them, did you?
Yeah. I thought it might be fine. Look, he totally blends in until you, like, ask him a question.
And I should add, sir, that we have had him castrated.
Dude.
Is your pet?
No! He's a friend!
Then like perhaps I should know I should have come. I believe in. He stands up and
No,
he's like,
no,
sit
no.
down, please. You are here as a guest of my son, and within these walls. Whatever you may believe, may be, cause me trouble, it shall be fine. Sit down, as Nadan like starts walking off. However, Elenia, may need to talk in private about those who you bring under my roof, into my shelter. Especially
I feel like
when they
Nadan's not
are
the worst.
not
they are
forthcoming with
wrong.
their reasoning.
Oh.
And even those who seem friendly lie to me. Looks at Haydn.
What do you mean? This food's really great.
Well, you know, I am also sort of like you guys, but I'm also from, you know, one of the spider places, but I am not a Lolth person because I serve a god called Geb, so please don't put me in jail because I don't do the spider thing.
Please, let's not talk religion. Okay.
We are not like other nations. We are. You are free to practice whatever religion you please here. There are just some that are obviously more dangerously influential than others. I will give you a brief outline. Do not speak ill of others or us or who we worship. Give you one piece of advice you leave here today. Your gods are your gods. Ours is ours.
Definitely wouldn't be going out and about talking about Lolth, so that's a bit of a.
Well, I mean, like I said, what is it called? The Dungeon of Penance has many open spaces. But do they really know nothing, those? Sorry, Elena.
No, nothing at all.
Kind of refreshing. We worship a entity known as the Luxon. We believe that it used its body and was the first light in the universe. we all now exist and live on the earth that it has created, and various parts of its power vestiges can be found, and those are sacred to us. So, at least I believe, all of your gods were born from the Luxant light, and are simply further extensions.
Oh. Well, I suppose Geb must have had a dad or something, so that, that sort of checks out.
And Mr. Kildre, sir, is the clergy powerful here?
Aye. None of us claim to speak or even understand the will Lux. We simply wish to understand more of it and its history. We, to that end, endeavor to research, excavate, and learn as much as we can about it and the various other planes. Do not think we have commandments to follow. However, it is by its light and its power that we freed ourselves from the bondage by which we were placed.
So you are a drow society and you do no ritual killings at all.
It shouldn't
Kind of
that-
like wry smile. None whatsoever.
Not even a single. Wow. And he just sort of like folds his arms and just sits back in his chair like, I cannot believe this.
To answer your question, we walk around outside, thankful because of the eternal darkness bestowed upon us by some of our mages.
Oh, that is so clever. So you do not have to look at the sky because you have hidden it. Guys, I need to hide the sky when I go places. This is so smart. Maybe I should live here.
Could get like one of those like parasols and like those ones that block sun rays.
Or like a little umbrella.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really have a problem in that way because of my disease, but it is the fact it is so big, it makes me kind of nervous, so.
Or a hood.
Oh, I could wear a hood. It's true.
We could you could get those spectacles with like the dark lenses.
Oh, I've seen those. But then how do people see? I don't understand. If your eyes have a black thing in front of them, you cannot see.
That's like
No, and that's why they say ignorance is bliss.
you can see through them. You can see through them.
Wow.
There's like tiny little holes, and you can see through the tiny little holes, but they block some of the sunlight coming through.
But you could like totally move over here, and then we can be neighbors. That'd be rad.
That might be nice. I mean, well, I like
I
this
don't
more
think-
than the West.
I do not believe they would be able to move in this area, but maybe somewhere else, perhaps.
The rent
Wait,
Perhaps
the rent price is really high here or something.
exceptionally high.
We are sort of rich, though. We do lots of adventuring, and I am trying to build a whole forge out of gold, so I will need a lot of money for this.
Elenia, I'm a little hurt that you know so little of who you are, who we are, our society. I know you were doing your research into various planes and Luxon, and I always appreciated that, but I thought you weren't completely ashamed of where you've come from. But they know nothing.
Well,
Little.
I would love to learn more.
Please tell us about Ghost and his brother. He sounds really nice. I'm really sad we don't know more.
Yeah, Ghost, Alenia always gets really shy when he starts talking about Romans, so we don't know that much about him. So we'd love to learn more about your son, your other son.
Before I move on to the history of my family and my son, who you clearly hasn't shared much with you, why don't you do me the pleasure of introducing you all now that some of the food has been wolfed down? I know you, Haydn. The rest of you, I still don't think you've given me your names.
Paul, I am Ascor of House Brentov, and I am a businessman. Sort of smiles. Doesn't say any more about himself.
Well, my name is it is sort of embarrassing. It is Rasha Valtelin Otsa. Yeah, you're smiling. Yeah. I thought you might think it was funny, so I did not say. But they call me Rasha. High Priest of Geb. I'm a blacksmith. I'm actually really good at it. So if you want metal things, then hit me up. Is that? He kind of looks to Haydn and goes for confirmation. Is that? Yeah. Hit me up, but not too hard.
A fragile little stone.
Not. I'm. I actually am really strong, so not really very. He kind of trails off and just pokes at his zucchini with a fork and just stares at the plate.
And you? Spider One? I am Nadan. I'm intensely embarrassed. And finally, the quiet one. Are you? Apologies if you are mute.
Aku just points at his neck and just goes,
I'm sorry for that happened to you. Well, Elenia, what should I say about you?
Nothing is probably best. They know as much as they need to know, and now they know more because they're here, which is awesome. But we do have places to be going, so...
No, we will. We really want to hear about Ghost. I mean, Elenia. We don't know much about him other than his many accomplishments since becoming a wizard. So it would be great to hear about his childhood and his brother.
Is Mr. Roman a wizard like Ghost? Do they do the same books and things? Or...
You've met him, have you not?
We saw him really briefly. He seemed so occupied. Really tied up, I guess.
Well, he was always busy. I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm planning to play the gracious host. I don't know who many of you are. My son has brought you here, and that is certainly a mark in all of your favors. I'm sure my son will tell you all that you need to know about it. If you want to know about me,
Yes?
I'll tell you what I would tell a host.
Please.
Well, you sit among very relatively close to the Lucid Bastion, which is the center of our civilization and city. One of the ruler of around the 12 dens, as I discussed, an advisor to the Light Queen. Many of that to do with the Luxem, from a religious point of view, more than a research and scientific point of view, although the input of both Ghost and Romen in that area has, before they both absconded to more exciting pastures, I'm sure, excellent.
It's like a gap year.
A gap decade.
Okay, a gap decade. Fine.
And well, like I said, I've been waiting for them to come home, or waiting for indications that they are both finally ready to take on their responsibilities and accept access to consecration. so that their mother looks up at him will finally stop worrying about them.
What kind of responsibilities do you need to do? Do they need to do?
Boring ones.
Such as
Being boring. Sorry.
As boring to those, I'm sure, who are full of the curiosity of youth. There is much work to be done here. There is much work from both a diplomatic point of view as well as various positions of government. I am sure that both Lenya and Romen would be well suited for. They are, of course, allowed to continue their research. However, it would be nice if it was in a more official capacity and working with those who are already working in those fields rather than their own independent research, which, whilst innovative and unique, I would prefer if it was, and again, the mother would prefer if it was perhaps practiced in a safer environment. A more boring environment.
We have gone to some really crazy places, but yeah.
Mom, sorry, you would lose your mind. It's been so dope. I'll spare you the details. And the hell off.
Well, he kind of claps his hands and they start clearing away the plates. I sense that these revelations, you all keep giving each other second glances and looking at my son. Do you need some time alone before you commence reading?
We just did not know that his name was Elenia, and it is a really nice name, so we are all so surprised because Ghost is such a pointy guy to have such a really soft name. Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you like the name.
We like him as well. Yeah, he's good.
DM and Lauren, does Elenia have a meaning in Sylvan? Or is it an undercommon name, or?
It means like twilight, I think, if I remember rightly from when I picked it.
Oh, cool. In Sylvan?
I think so. In Elvish, I can't remember which one.
Okay. Oh, wait, is that the same thing? I don't know.
No, like in Tolkien Elvish, not in any...
Oh, not in D&D Elvish.
No, I don't think that exists as a language.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's just, when we realized that Elenia was Ghost's real name, we suddenly realized that we don't know as much about our beloved friend as we would like to know. So now's such a nice chance to get to learn more than in his family home.
We are going on this really dangerous mission and stuff to Bobbed Fields where you said he went and he was losing his mind and all that. So maybe we are just so nervous. So nervous.
Yeah, and we should learn all we can about him so we can do our best to keep him safe and make sure he can come back for his communion. Was it?
Consecution.
But if he dies, I can bring him back from the dead. So it is fine if your son meets a horrible end because I will fix it.
Oh, I'd rather it not an option. It's
Well, I can heal him
maybe.
before that bit as well. But if it happens, it's okay. We have lots of options. Was that helpful? I don't think that was helpful. I'm sorry.
I'm sure it might well. Just like
It's fine, Mum. Honestly, it's no different to any other time. It's the same old stuff. We're just looking for some bits and pieces that these guys need, and then we'll come back. Not even going to do any experiments out there.
Right. Well, do you all have, you two in particular, but you, can we do anything for them? Are they just, humans aren't not welcome, it's just, might get stared at quite a bit.
Do you have this special I've seen it for sale in some like beautician parlors back where Silvercut Crossroads. It's like, I think it's called Snazaroo. Have you got any of that? It's like the special like gray face paint you could put on them. They can blend in a bit. They sell it in disguise kits. What'd you say?
You'd be green if you wanted to.
You could be green. You could be gray. You could be purple.
We rarely have to sneak through our own city. So no,
No,
I do not
that
have
makes
grey face paint.
Okay.
Yeah, you're very kind for thinking of our well-being, but I personally will be fine. There's no need to worry. And as I was speaking, he clicks again for another waiter to come over. Does one come over?
Yep.
And Ascor just sort of under his breath says, coffee, double. No, sherry. But I'd be curious to know. You seem a accomplished individual, and I understand you're influential in the clergy. Do you partake in any business practices by any chance?
You haven't brought a business proposal to me, Elena.
I don't control these guys.
I am predominantly in charge of excavations.
Marvelous. Excavations of what exactly?
Well, as I said, we believe various parts of the Luxon are buried deep below the ground when the earth was formed. And the mud and everything has come down on top. And when we find evidence of their existence, we excavate as far down as we can
You know,
until we find it.
this is going to sound really inexplicably strange, but the earth sort of speaks to me a little bit. So the ground sometimes it is saying like, oh, Rasha, go that way. There is some metal there. So when I worked in the forge, sometimes I would go out and look for things. So I brought my forge a lot of rare things from the ground. So if you need excavation help or anything, I'm sort of, maybe it will tell me where to go. I say thank you for this really nice dinner.
My pleasure. It was always Elena's favorite. I had to make it special. Well, I shall need to let our guardsmen know that you are here. I would perhaps be careful about venturing out into the city unaccompanied. I could send you an escort, a carriage. Do you have any business in the city other than leaving?
It might be nice to visit a forge, but only if we have time to spare, and I don't think we do, so... We're sort of in a hurry, I think.
Very.
DM?
Yep.
Do I know the name of the place I have to take my package that I'm delivering? Or I just know the name of the person I'm delivering it to?
You know the name of the person.
But I don't know the place I'm taking it to.
No.
I wonder if now is a good time to ask.
And friendly company.
Mr. Kildra, you're you're quite connected within Rosohna, right? Do you know, oh gosh, what's his name? And, Haydn rummages through his things, and pulls out a little black pocketbook and flips through it and, squints at his own writing. And he's like, do you know Mr. Thalis? Thalis? No?
I know many a Thalis. It's one of the ruling dens.
Do you know where he lives?
Sorry.
Or
You
works?
never told me who you were delivering your special box to.
I don't think you asked. Maybe you did ask. Did you ask?
Sorry, to clarify, Thalis is a not quite a family name, but a last name, a moniker for those who have been accepted into that den structure, family.
Ah. So is there a lot of people that go by that name?
There are several who bear that den. Yes.
Ah.
It is led
your
by
kind of surname.
yes, so in the same way that goes myself, Merrar, and Romen all have epithel. There are many Thalises. There is Erin, there is Diatra, the leader, there is the Lady Shadowhand. Yeah, who do you...
I don't remember his first name. Maybe. Are people with that last name, were they usually like kind of like nice, good people? Like,
You have asked me if one of the ruling houses and council members are nice people.
forget I asked. His name is Essek. You know that one?
Just looks at his dad like,
Does he live here?
He doesn't live here. One, he doesn't live here. I could point you in the direction of his manor.
That would be much appreciated. Thank you.
He currently lives in the Firmaments district. You will notice his home. It has 3 towers, each connected by various walkways. There's some new mechanism or experiment that at the top of one of them, made of kind of shimmering grey brick. It's a bit of show off. Not unwarranted.
He's a
Wait,
wizard
fancy.
like Ghost, or
Yes.
more like never mind. Yeah, let me.
And as I mentioned, the recent and arguably, I think, youngest in history shadow hand to the Bright Queen.
she called the Bright Queen? Is it because she is really smart?
Because she serves in the light of the Luxon and the light throws through her.
Oh, and the light is bright. Sorry, I am not so good with commons, so sometimes. Okay.
No offense taken.
That is curious. I do recall you describing that. Am I right in thinking there was an everlasting twilight here because of the complications that light brings to your people?
Yes, that is fairly competent shadows and clouds above us. But the light that lurks and when it shines upon us provides
somewhat. Is that not somewhat ironic that? Well, the light shines, but well, I suppose it doesn't.
In the same way that a candle does not blind you when you look at it. The light of the Luxon is soft and caring compared to the harsh light of day.
Full of secrets.
The sun is so bad.
Very well said. Well, in that case, a toast to the Luxon. And Ascor picks up his sherry and
To a son returned home, so no matter how short.
to a short sun.
Are you sure you do not have time for the ceremony, Melania?
Yes, I'm absolutely very sure I don't have time for that. Maybe another time, Dad.
How long does the ceremony take? What does it entail?
It's a small amount of none of your business and a
I'm
slightly
just-
larger amount
I'm
of...
just trying to learn about Kryn culture and, Lux and religion stuff. So,
As
Ascor
abrasive as my
probably-
son is being, this is one of our more sacred rites, and one that outsiders are not yet trusted.
Indeed. And Ascor nods, sort of with deference. But at the same time, he's a few sherries deep at this point. And he lights up the telepathic connection to Ghost and goes, yeah. Not much to snip off, I imagine. You can say that again, it's a small affair.
just smiles and just raises a string to him and is just like, yeah, crack, yeah, brilliant.
It's a shame you didn't bring Romen. From what I understood, he and the Shadow Hand were friendly rivals. I'm sure he would have been much easier to introduce himself. He's reclusive, even at the best of times. I doubt you'd get an audience with him. You're delivering something, right?
Yeah.
May I see it?
You
can say no.
My most humblest apologies, sir. But, it's, only for the eyes of, the recipient.
I respect your integrity. More so than I did.
Thank you. I take my job as a delivery man very seriously.
Ah, so you hitched a ride.
Yes. Thanks to the benevolence of my dear friend Ghost, who is very talented with teleportation circles.
I told you, Dad, I just keep picking up charity cases all over the place.
But I paid you back. I paid you back. Paid you forward. I paid it forward. I paid it forward.
Lived your life, I believe.
Yeah.
Ascor probably a little bit drunk at this point, forgetting to kind of telepathically sort of leans over towards Aku and just goes, picking up body parts more like.
Aku just snorts pretty loudly into his cup. Just maybe splashing Ascor a bit.
Was the guest wing to each of your liking? Anything that could be improved?
It's
What was the first sentence there, Sir Jim?
Was the guest wing to all of your liking? Anything that can be improved?
I do not understand this custom of having the bell on the side by the bed to summon someone to fight in the nighttime. That seems... It seems so crazy. Why do you have bellboys to fight?
Ghost is absolutely
He kind of
laughing.
giggle. Yeah, he laughs. And he gives it a Lenya and he does a weird look and
I come on.
No, I know that they're naive of it. Come on.
Have I been misled again?
I fear so.
They do this all the time. I will not even say what they had me believing about. I actually do not think I can say the word because it is too embarrassing at this table.
It's a lot of fun, Dad.
Well, are you at least staying the night, or are you leaving immediately?
It depends on these guys, I guess. Haydn has his little errand to run.
There's no urgency. I would be delighted to sample your hospitality. I mean, accept your hospitality. I mean, thank you for the invite. We'd love to stay. We're all very tired from the journey. In fact, our friend Zug, who can't make it to dinner right now, he got really teleportation sick, so we can't really leave without him. So we would.
It would be really funny to leave him here though, because he would just not know what to do. It would be hilarious.
Oh, we could paint him gray before we leave, so then he wakes up and he thinks he's a drow. You know he would fall for it.
I think he probably is aware that he is an orc, no?
Yeah, but he wakes up and he looks in the mirror and...
Don't.
It doesn't matter.
Judging from the way his hair sits, I do not think he ever looks in mirrors. I get the sense that it has been many years.
Rasha's savage!
Man's got aesthetic taste.
Wow.
Now
You
I
probably
will have
notice him
you
staring.
besmirching the good name of my loyal employee.
That's another reason why we can't leave. It's because Zug's your bodyguard, and there'll be no one here to protect you if we leave without Zug.
You are all welcome, of course. I hope I am not awoken in the middle of the night to the sound of Balaflan and Bellboys fighting. He kind of looks over at the butler in the corner, who's barely suppressing a laugh as well. Although it might be a sight to see. Do be careful here. I would implore you to maybe be respectful as you walk through. Some of you are going to be naturally prejudiced against. Some more than others, and he looks directly at Nadan. If you wish to pass through the city, pass through quickly and quietly. As I said, I can arrange a carriage for you to take you to the entrance.
If Nadan hides his tattoos, he is just the same as me, right? So it's fine. We are just both drow, so...
Yeah, me, you, and Nadan, just a couple of normal drow, eh, Rasha?
Right, exactly. I mean, okay, I'm deceased, but, you know.
She gives a very curious look and then looks at Ghost. Yes. Well, as I said, I don't want to hear bellboys fighting or the sound of the guards being summoned just outside this place.
Rasha, in your mind, you hear Aku's voice kind of just like say, you should ask them why they're drow, but they gave birth to Ghost who's a tiefling. I really want to know this.
Can't just ask
Rasha, Rasha looks over to Aku with sort of big eyes, being like, oh, well, if it's you who's asking, absolutely. I would, yeah, sure. You never lead me astray. And he is going to turn to Ghost's parents and say, so, actually, because I do not understand this, so you are both drow, but Ghost is a tiefling, so how come your son is not, the same as you? Is that a thing that happens here? Is that normal?
There's a pause. They look at each other. Look back at you.
Rasha just eats a bit of zucchini in the silence.
There's a long pregnant pause. It is not an uncommon occurrence in our family.
Oh. Kind of looks around at the paintings.
Were your parents skin diseased at all, Rasha?
I have no idea. I was left on my Forge Master's step when I was a baby because I suppose they saw me come out and went, "Oh, that is disgusting," and put it in a blanket. And
If I gave birth to a rock, I'd be pretty surprised as well.
right, I'm thinking about this. I must have been so heavy for my mother, no?
Dense.
Yeah, really.
It depends how much of a little lock you are.
Pebble.
Pebble, yeah, they did call me that.
Is Kildra flirting with Rasha?
No.
Is he ringing his midnight bell?
He's very bemused.
Popping out the pet names.
Yeah,
Daddy
Ghost leans into his dad. He's like, I may have been leaning into the whole, oh, they think that my home is going to be like in the nine hells and my family are going to be like, flesh-eating devils kind of vibes.
You managed to convince that one that we summon bellboys to fight in the middle of the night. I doubt you could convince them with not much that would be true. But then, yeah.
Don't know what they're expecting, but I don't think it was this.
Well, I trust you. And despite some evidence to the contrary around this table, they seem to still have your support in being here. And as such, while they are here, they will have my protection, and I will be sure if you wish to leave the city, it will be done quickly. However, I cannot protect you if you bring any attention to yourselves. Negative attention, of course. You simply will have a safe haven here, whenever you wish, as long as you're accompanied by one of my sons.
Well, on that note, sir, I would like to inquire, just from my better judgment, if there were I suppose, does the legal system here allow for attorneys?
Did you say returns?
Attorney.
Well, our methods do not require attorneys.
I see.
Through the light of the lesson, many truths and possibilities are divined as to the nature of events.
Haydn, you probably hear first in your head. This place is crazy. We gotta get out of here. Anything could happen.
And
It's the Wild
kind
West
of-
out here.
kind of gestures. I presume you'll all be here tomorrow. Regroup, rest, maybe sort out some of the questions you undoubtedly have for each other after this. And if you wish to leave tomorrow, as I said, I shall arrange it. But for now, he kind of stands up. For now, I shall retire as well. It's been a long day. A long twilight, as you put it. I shall see you all in the morning. It's nice to have you back, Ellen. I missed you. As did your mother.
I miss you as well.
Merrar kind of walks over to you and kind of clasps your hand a little bit, and you feel a little metal in your hand. She goes, "Please be safe," and kind of leans down and kisses you on the cheek. And you think that over back there's a gold ring with a green gem inside it as you leave. And as he turns around, I will see you all in the morning.
Goodbye, Mr. Wait, Councilman. That is what we are meant to call you. Councilman. Mr. Councilman Kildra.
It is fine in this house. Thank you, though. And as they kind of go to leave, Lauren, I'll whisper you what that item is. And we shall take a short 10-minute break.
Cool.
Yeah.
However we do that.
Yes.
However we do that.
We'll
No.
do this like this. Banner break. Play some music.
Some royalty-free boy band music.
Where?
With me, if it's alright with you, then I could be whatever it is that you need me to. My love, 'cause you're golden. You're golden. Golden morning. 'Cause you're golden. Golden morning. It's okay if you're lonely. You're golden.
Maybe you were wrong for the first time, and maybe I was looking for a lifeline, someone to hold on to, something I thought was truth, to tell the truth. But I can't let you go, and maybe you found someone. I'm better off alone. Something better came along, but I can't let you go. But I can't let you go. And maybe you found someone. I'm better off alone. Something better came along. Maybe I was wrong for the first time, and maybe this was all just in my mind. We'll rise and fall and start again. God knows when we'll reach the end, and every single thing might fall apart. But I can't let you go. And maybe you found someone. I'm better off alone. Something better came along, but I can't let you go. But I can't let you go. And maybe you found someone. I'm better off alone. Something better came along, but I can't let you go. I'm a curious man with some curious genes. I get that from my dad. I'm not far from the tree. I feel like I'm a butterfly, sting like a beamer. I hate features, done my running around with my head in the clouds, been lost and then found. When they woke up and frowned, tell myself I'm the man. I was right to be left. Now I'm back to myself. Who am I to keep on holding you from everything you want? I can see you want to get you want. Who am I to? Who am I? looking right, left, going straight. Don't know where to go, wanna hide away. I'm reflecting myself. You are no good for me. Somehow, dangerously, am I? Keep you in my You know that stories come from the night. So baby, what you wanna write? You and me gotta make some memories. So come and write the story with me. Baby, you know how I feel. Come and grab some color with me. We'll paint the city red. Don't care what you said. Let's go for a ride. Me and you got a lot that we could write up till the night's up, baby. Jump in my car and turn the key. I don't care what we leave behind. My eyes can see what I wanna be. Come and grab some color with me. We'll paint the city red. Don't care what you said. Let's go for a ride.
First time met you, I hope you stay in town. Pretty hair, pretty eyes, wish you were by my side. You are the best any girl could ever wanna be. Always nice, always kind, in the back of your own mind. Is it wrong, is it right, to think I could reach so high? You're the moon in the sky, baby, I'll run, 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 run. Baby, I'll run, 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 run after you. Baby, I'll run, 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 run. Baby, I'll run, 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 run after you. When I see you, I forget the world is happening. I just stop and stare. Your smile, so bright, makes the sun want to run and hide. I can't believe my find. The impossible is possible in my dreams, and in my dreams you're mine. I look up at the stars at night, think of you, and wonder where you are. Is it wrong, is it right to think I could reach so high? You're the moon in the sky, baby I'll run, 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 run. Baby I'll run, 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 run after you. Baby I'll run, 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 run. Baby I'll run, 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 run after you. Through time, through space, my love for you will never fade. Baby, I will hold true. Two worlds apart, how can I get to know you, babe? Why is this space so far? One soul, two hearts, though yours seems many miles apart. But baby, you've got mine. Baby, I'll run, 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 run. Baby, I'll run, 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 run after you. Baby, I'll run, 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 run. Baby, I'll run, 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 run after you. Baby, I'll run, 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 run. Baby, I'll run, 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 run after you. Baby, I'll run, 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 run. Baby, I'll run, 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 run after you.
Maybe you were wrong for the first time, and maybe I was looking for a lifeline, someone to hold on to, something I thought was truth, to tell the truth. But I can't let you go, and maybe you found someone. I'm better off alone. Something better came along, but I can't let you go. But I can't let you go. And maybe you found someone. I'm better off alone. Something better came along. Maybe I was wrong for the first time, and maybe this was all just in my mind. We'll rise and fall and start again. God knows when we'll reach.
Wow.
And as he leaves the room. Sorry, I realized I probably have an intro. Welcome back,
no,
everybody.
I was just going to complain. I have to hold this up because otherwise the cat will try and eat the wire. He's not gotten the message. The headset is not to be munched. Anyway, that's my side.
Anyway, welcome back. So, as both of Ghost's parents leave the room, leaving you, Balthran goes, if you'd all like to follow me, I believe I am to escort you back to your wing. If there's anything during the night, you can ring the bell.
Wiggle my eyebrows at Rasha.
Yeah, it is to summon help.
Because you're going to need it when you ring the bell.
Yeah, well, I think that one is, what is it, buried? Buried now. The bell is for help, okay.
And as you know, you kind of walk out, those of you feeling a little full, leaving the smells of food behind you, some of you tipsy from the wine. You were taken back to the tower. Each of you kind of are left in the kind of drawing common room downstairs, and the spiral staircase obviously leads up to your individual rooms. Balthran goes, those of you who are not quite as attuned to this place and the lack of light, if you require a wake-up call, do let me know.
Oh yes, that will be necessary.
What time did you wish to depart tomorrow?
You guys, there's no better time.
Well, Haydn, we have to see your friend Mr. Thalos, and then...
Well, we don't have to go tomorrow. We have other things that we can do while we're here. And I just wanted to know, maybe, where he might be. But it was a really good description earlier of this, tower, so...
Really good description for someone who perhaps might want to sneak off in the middle of the night and go do that by himself, but... If you
Well, I think that would be rude to show up and deliver a package in the middle of the night like people are sleeping, so I will deliver it at some point during daylight, twilight hours.
We will be coming back this way.
Yeah, there's no rush.
So...
I mean, if I'd traveled by land and sea, which was the original intention, I wasn't going to be delivering it for months now, so... In fact, he'll be pleasantly surprised that it's so early. Yeah.
Haydn, excuse me, I really did assume that your venture was, below board.
No. I'm a delivery boy. I've been telling you this from the beginning. Why would you think it's
So
below
you're
board?
part of an agency?
Yeah, like... Yeah. Deliver things.
Sounds very legit.
Yeah. Super legitimate.
Oh.
You're not, like, dropping a bomb
That is a
in
surprise.
our capital city, are you?
No. You...
If it...
Wait, is Ghost Dad still here?
I don't know, you're all back in the guest wing.
You examined the box. I showed it to you.
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't know either. It could be a bomb, but probably not. I mean, it's definitely not a bomb. I work for a very legitimate delivery company that delivers nice things to nice people.
Well, why are you delivering it to Essex Thalos then?
Is he not a nice people?
I don't know. I've only met him 1 or 2 times. It's more what my brother says, but he's the jealous type, so...
Wait, he's a jealous type? What did you
Yeah,
say?
like he's envious of Essex, I guess. Awesomeness and being good at shit, Who could be the most stoic, I guess, as well.
I've never even heard of this guy, so I was just given a name on a piece of paper and told, deliver it here. Good luck, get into Rosohna. And I was like, I hate boats.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks. You've done me a solid.
Yeah, it's weird for a guy who never does anything for anyone, eh?
That is a callback to our argument from earlier, and yeah.
Well spotted, Rasha. Nicely segued.
Yeah. So are we still really angry? I guess we sort of are a bit angry still.
I don't know. Are you guys still accusing me of being some kind of secretive arsehole who's never done anything for anyone? Kind of depends on that.
I think so.
Your
probably.
silence is deafening.
Well, you're still concealing all this stuff about your brother and the star and Aku, so until we know about that,
We've met your parents, and I feel like we know less about you than we did beforehand.
Okay. So what? Specifically what? What's the problem?
Oh, we're friends, friends.
We are
caring
friends.
and
We're all
sharing
friends.
And,
But you haven't specifically asked me anything. I've volunteered plenty of information about myself and answered plenty of questions.
what about your consummation?
The castration.
Consecution, you guys, God. And yeah,
Persecution?
Sorry,
Yeah.
I haven't heard this term before. We don't have it in Taldore. What? At least I don't think we do. What is it exactly?
it's just a thing that like posh people do over here. It's not really important, you know, like sort of like how you have like debutante balls and things like that. It's just kind of like that sort of thing, you know,
What's a
stepping
debutante
into
ball?
your family's history and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, I do have a question.
Mhm.
What is it you are doing in the barbed fields that made you come back all incoherent and not having a brain or something?
Well, I definitely still have a brain, and that I explained to you guys how fucked up that place is, right? It being, you know.
Yeah, we are going there, so we need to know what is so dangerous up there.
Well, you know what happened there, right?
Not really.
You don't know the history of, I guess, this of everyone, the planet, and everything. You don't know like what happened there, the calamity and stuff.
Oh, well, I know a bit about, the calamity.
Yeah, that's where the calamity happened, dude. That's why we're going there. Because of the cucumber.
Oh, right, because Mr. Vespin kind of caused the calamity, or he did something bad in it, or...
Yeah.
Huh.
Or as we can tell, anyway. But
So specifically, what is dangerous there? Is it monsters? Is it that, there are evil gods wandering around that, will eat you, or...
I don't know about evil gods. I mean, they're probably all on the other side of the gate, so that's less of a worry. But it's more like the giant, monstrous, mutated killer creatures and all of the crazy, aberrant wild magic that can just appear out of nowhere and fuck you up. And it's because of, it being the site of the calamity, it means that, like, how should I put this? The distance between the different planes of existence is it's more interesting there. And if you were interested in studying such things, that's the natural place you'd go to get closer to it.
As Guy's just talking about giant mutated creatures, etc., and horrific danger, Rasha kind of looks at Dan, shrugs, and says, "Oh, it sounds a lot like home, actually. This is okay." Yeah.
Be able to feel so unwelcome, so looked down upon.
Yeah, they were really mean about you, huh?
Part of the same conversation.
Huh? Wait,
That's what Ghost says, like implying like his parents were very nice to them.
Well, all the Lolth things and the spiders.
Okay, but you think that about Lolth as well, so.
Well, I don't.
So, what's the difference?
Not really. It is sort of bad. All the ritual killings is sort of bad, but she is, the deity of where I grew up, and probably my forge masters, is into spiders and all that. So.
But you don't follow her, and you think that what she teaches is kind of fucked up. So that's just basically kind of what the general school of thought is over here.
I just think it's really uncomfortable how all the priestesses, eat their husbands and wear these tiny clothes, and they are so naked all the time, and they are stabbing people dressed like this. This really, I don't know. It is something.
Are you more bothered
It's
about
like
the
a hot
women?
dream.
Sounds like you're more bothered about the naked women than you are about the killing.
Not just the priestesses are really frightening. I mean, we killed and I resurrected one, but she still scares me very much.
Mm.
When I sent her a message and it sending into her brain and she spoke back, I was like, oh no, what if she stabs me for this?
In your brain.
Yeah.
Mm.
In my brain.
That would have been dope. Not for you, but like, if that could be possible.
How's Nadan looking, DM? Is he looking sullen and sulky, or is he just sort of rolling with the punches?
Solid and sulky.
Well, Well, Nadana, cheer up because you look really nice in this robe, and we cannot tell that you are a spider person at all. So.
Yeah, you do not look like you fucked a spider in your entire life.
Shut up. All gods require devotion. Yours simply ask that you give them your life. Mine asks that I get others.
Yep has not asked for any lives yet, really. Just lots of gold.
He's asked you to free him.
Well, that is true. I'm trying to jailbreak him.
Geboleth still as well.
Your god may be an aboleth. For all we know.
He might be.
Would you still free him? Huh?
Maybe.
What?
Look, he's still. This voice is still my friend. This voice spoke to me when.
Oh, I'm sorry. My god is evil, and is going because it demands human sacrifices. Yours potentially would bring about the end of everything, but it's fine because it might be your friend.
Yeah, that is the long and short of it. No, but listen, Geb is not like that. Geb has inspired me with beautiful things, and an Geboleth could not do this. But this is not about Geb. That is a problem.
This isn't about how gullible Rasha is.
If we're judging everybody's gods, then I suppose we start with whoever the hell you even worship. Looks at Ghost.
Worship? Do I look like a guy who worships anything except science?
What will happen to your soul when you die, Ghost?
Well, if my parents had anything to do about it, it would go straight back into me and I would live again, and that sounds lame as hell, so I'm open to finding out.
Now hold on a minute, Ascor
Wait,
says.
that sounds so good.
My soul was promised before I was born. I nearly played the hand I was dealt, as did we all.
Some of us got out. You could probably get out too.
Why am I here?
Because we're doing a really dangerous thing, and you're one of the Spice Boys, Nadan.
No, Rasha, I meant that is why I'm here.
Oh, that is why. Oh, wait, okay. So,
I really cannot concentrate. What Chaos is being so cute.
No, he's so adorable.
Oh my goodness.
Have a cat on your head.
The crown of Kitty.
He's looking through your heart.
This is new. He's not come up here yet.
Wait. Ghost, or Alenia. What should we call you now? I don't.
Call me Ghost. That's the name I've asked you to call me by.
Okay,
What's so
Ghost.
confusing about that?
I'm just checking. Anyway. Did you just say that if you did this whole Luxon thing, you can, like, die and then, like, come back as yourself? Like...
Yes.
Isn't that expensive?
Probably.
But you're getting to do it for free? Or...
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Why not? Don't you wanna...
Why not?
Because why would I want to experience all the same things over and over again? Why would you not want to find out what's next, what's on the other side?
Well...
Have more adventures. Run down an arm.
Oh my god, he's so cute. But do you know what's on the other side? Like maybe.
Oh, isn't that amazing? Something that nobody knows. I mean, you can all make educated guesses based on the things that some super powerful person past some gate or trapped in a hole with an aboleth has told you. But like, you don't really know. You're just trusting that, and the not knowing is the exciting bit.
Well, how?
You're a raving lunatic.
How old are you?
I'm like 33, dude.
That's... Well, you're kind of old, but, like, shouldn't you, you could just come back as yourself and then do something else. You don't have to do the same thing that you did before. You could just
All of the being bogged down by all those memories and all those thoughts and all those prejudices that you once carried in previous lifetimes. I don't want that.
But if you want to find out about what happens when
Am
you
I
die,
listening?
we could just, you could just die, and then I could bring you back after a week and say, "Hey, ghost, how was it? What is death
No,
like?"
it's not the same. I still want to live my life, and given the way my family ages, I'll probably live for quite a long time.
But you could give death like I don't know, a trial run and see how you find it, and then, if you really hated actually being dead, then you can go get your consecution.
It's cute that you guys have this idea of this being this really cool and awesome thing. I've spent my entire life growing up around this. This is my culture, my people. I am educated enough in this to make my own decision, and it's nice of you to think that all the positives of it and why you might want it, and many people do. My parents, maybe my brother. It's just not for me. I mean, living the same life over and over again in living in this place. Boring. Next. Thank you, next.
Yes, please. This is far too much philosophy for one evening.
I just think we should get back to the fact that Rasha has just revealed that entirely happy releasing. What?
Gib, not...
No, not Geb. Even if we find out it's the other one.
Well,
Nadine, stop bitching. We've been around this before.
Queen of the Geboleth, she might not be that bad.
I mean, these guys wanted me to summon Lolth, so the Geboleth isn't really the worst possible thing that we could have brought into this world.
Besides, we saw a statue, something to do with Geb and a statue. That's got to count for something, right?
Right, well, he is definitely. It is not like he is not real. He is 100% real. And I have this book telling me about ruins where he is hiding, where that one wizard went crazy. So I guess that is probably something to do with the Geboleth down there. But
For the moment, we're just dealing in Geboleth.
And I asked him. I said, "Geb, are you actually an Geboleth?" And he said, and he has a really deep voice, so he cannot really be an Geboleth queen because he sounds like, Geb, very, very manly and things. And he said, "No, Rasha, how could you doubt me after all this time?" And right, because he is a forge god and I am really good
He
at
didn't
forging.
say he wasn't. He just said, "Why would you doubt me?"
You put it that way, that is what he said. But how would an Geboleth
As
know how to
somebody
make
who
me...
lies for a living,
But
that's not answering the question.
But he still gave me all this power to do with forge, and you could not do that unless he was actually, Bullets don't know that. They don't have hands. How can they use a hammer or an anvil? What are they going to forge for? They are big tentacle things.
You're
They
right,
do
an
not know
Aboleth could not conceive of how to use a hammer.
Right. But they
Probably
don't
beyond
have
them.
arms. How will they hold one? They don't wear, pauldrons. They don't have shoulders, so...
So that's the linchpin of why we should trust you. It's that Aboleths do not wear shoulder pads.
Oh, I don't know this to me. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's logical if you think about it.
Why
I'm
are
going to think
we?
about it long and hard.
Why are
Long and
we
hard.
really pushing Rasha for something that we have no evidence for? I mean, Geb is clearly Rasha's god. Just because there are some questionable things about who Rasha was interacting with doesn't necessarily mean that his faith isn't real. And we do have more pressing matters to think about, surely, Nadan?
I'm sorry.
It's got a point, but yeah, maybe the point is better discussed at a different time.
As welcoming as I'm sure your parents were, this society reeks of snobbery.
Dog hemp.
Nadan, you are really sad. So earlier, Jamie, when he was talking about having his soul signed off before birth, did he say that? Did he seem particularly sad or regretful about
I
that?
seem better.
Nadan, well, we are sort of all helping each other, and you just seem a little bit. Well, I get this conversation was a bit upsetting for you, but can we help you in any way? Because we have Aku who's got the spirit who possesses him, and we are trying to get rid of Lanhorath because we hate him. And if you want your soul back from Lolth, or you feel really bad that it is sort of taken from you, then we banished the demon prince of undeath, so why can't we just help you a bit? Just if you feel sad about it, then yeah.
Definitely probably people here who could help you.
I don't know how they unbonded themselves from Lolth. All I know is that all of my people, she claims our souls before we are born, spend our lives serving her, so that our afterlife is pleasant as it can be.
If you were able
That's
to
so hard.
become unbonded, is that something you would choose to do?
Let's say.
What does an insight check tell me?
Yeah, I've got it.
Come on, dice, be kind to me. Yes, that's a 15 plus 9, 24.
You glean that he would, but he doesn't want to say it out loud for fear that it's not possible, and that Lolth would punish him for that.
Rasha nods sagely. Yes, of course, you definitely could not say that. Then he looks at the party and gives
No,
a
Rasha,
little.
for somebody who can be convinced of virtually anything, I hate how much you see.
Oh, well, I don't know. It's like I spent all my time observing people, so I don't know what to say to them, but it makes a lot of sense when I just look at them,
Such a thing was possible. This is obviously the place to find out.
Right,
So-
you are. And at the risk of putting a fly in the ointment,
Ghost.
I don't think any of you settled it about Romen.
Dude,
I think we just have to keep asking ghosts, so we are going to be so annoying. We are going to ask you about your missing brother in a big scary purple star with crazy mind things, like every day, until you tell us.
Do Zone of Truth.
if I don't want to tell you, a zone of truth isn't going to make me tell you.
Oh yeah.
We would have to torture him or something, and that.
I might like that.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay. Your brother stuff aside. Boop. The consecration. Is that it?
Consecution.
Constipation.
Okay. If you don't want it, can I have it?
No,
Why not?
because it's tied to my soul.
Okay, but you're not doing the ceremony, so I disguise myself as you. I walk into the ceremony room. I do my little prayer to the Luxon, and when I die, I come back. Right?
Cool. You can go ask Layla's Kryn then, if you can do that, and ask her if you can take my place then.
And you'd be happy with that because you don't want it. So
Yeah,
actually,
so
I'd be doing you a favor.
Yeah. She only lives down the road actually, so you could like totally just go ask her. Ask her now.
What's her address? He takes out his little pocketbook.
Ghost just writes it down for you. There you go. That's where she lives.
The lucid. I think Ghost probably just writes the lucid
Lucid.
bastion, the
Yeah.
central chamber.
There you go. And then Layla's Crane. That's right. He doesn't write Bright Queen, he just writes the fucking full name. There you go. Ask for her. She'll sort you out.
Thanks. Haydn has no idea who she is.
You can go and hit her up. That is.
Yeah, hit Layla's Crane up. Yeah, get a Consecution.
I like this phrase. It is really snappy.
Rasha's gonna hit up Ghost's dad.
No, he is going to hit me up if he wants any metal things made or excavation help.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna hit you up. Cool.
We ring the bell to get a butler to hit both of you.
So tomorrow.
Talking of butlers, I'm going to sleep.
Yeah. Do we need to prepare anything before we go for this trip into the calamity place?
You know,
Guess we should just get a good night's sleep and be ready for what might happen tomorrow.
probably a lot of monsters.
Oh no, Rasha asks a good point. If there are going to be any trials or tribulations ahead of us, I'm sure somebody like Rasha would be keen to know.
And I'm just
What do
thinking,
you know of these barbed fields, Ghost?
Right, because I can ask Geb, hey, can I do some cool magic tomorrow or some,
Yeah, probably a lot of monsters. Random magical clouds. Unfavorable terrain. Random weather patterns. Maybe some murderers and stuff. Probably some crazy people. Maybe they're probably on the same level as like the monsters.
Oh,
But
it
yeah.
sounds like a shithole.
Yeah.
So we have the tents, of course. That'll be something, an ordeal perhaps.
You've slept in a tent before.
What of your family's butlers? Can we bring any of those along?
Sorry, you think that my parents are going to send one of their employees into a place I've just
Surely they
described as
must have
being
one
full of
spare
monsters
ghost.
and magic? No.
Perhaps a bodyguard for their favorite son?
No.
No.
I mean, I already have 5 bodyguards.
Well, you could always have an extra one that knows the lay of the land and the customs of the Kryn dynasty.
Isn't that me?
Like an extra one.
No, I'm good.
Alright, that's cool. We don't need it. We've got Nadan. Nadan will protect us all.
Nadan will protect us. I'm thinking I'd love to spend some time in the city, but, while Hayden's life is sort of being eaten by the cucumber, maybe we'll do it on the way back.
We can do it on the way back.
Yeah.
Optimism. We're definitely coming back from
Of
the...
course we are. Why wouldn't we?
Why would we not? Well, I cannot die until I fleet Geb, so there is no problem.
And you've
There's
gone
no
to the
problem.
barbed fields by yourself and come back, so...
That's true.
And Nadan is already a zombie, so, he's died. He's been there, done that.
Saved zombie. Thank you very much, Rasha.
Right, yes. Right.
Nadan, if your soul was promised to Lolth before you were born, and then you died, became a zombie,
Wait.
and then died again and we resurrected you, or whatever happened. Rasha resurrected. I wasn't there. Anyway, does that mean that you're now free from Lolth and you can live your own life?
Have any spiders appeared recently?
No idea.
Well, the priestess was still very lothy after we killed her and I resurrected her.
But that was more of a preference for her, I
I would
imagine.
not.
Yeah, we
I'm-
watched the ritual. She was really into it.
Maybe she doesn't know in the same way I don't know if we are free.
Nadan, what you should do is you should join the Church of Geb, because then you will be free from Lolth, and
My soul does not mind to give, as I discussed, unless that has changed with my multiple resurrections.
yeah, so you could find out by trying to give it to Geb. Church of Geb, woohoo!
But no,
So
you
I
know,
offer myself to Geb, and let's say it's not the case. And then when I die, which may happen soon based upon our recent travels, I spend all of eternity, as Ghost would put it, getting fucked by spiders.
That doesn't sound very fun.
When we come back, I'll go and speak to some people, and we'll see if we can do something about that.
not to
You
say
don't
that
have-
he wants this, because, you know, obviously, yeah, Miss Lolth, he does not want this. He's really loyal. But, yeah.
I believe it is a subject we have reached a conclusion on and should move on from.
Great. Bedtime, the barbed fields. Ghost, tell us about your brother tomorrow.
So are we just heading into this? How large is this area?
Like pure massive.
Okay, and we're just heading there, hoping we find something.
Yeah, where are we actually going?
There's a couple of locations that I have ideas where it might be important places throughout the course of the Clammy that may or may not have ties to this guy. So yeah, I guess we'll see.
You know, I can ask Geb this. I can ask him which of, you know, I can say, hello, is it this location? And he will probably know. He's pretty smart and divine.
Well, we have to go through one of them to get to the other one, so...
Oh.
It's kind of like, well, if we don't find it in the first place, then it will be in the second place, I'm pretty sure.
Well, I could ask him, will we find Vespin Chloras in the second one? Maybe if we have to go through the first, and then...
I mean, if you want to use your magical power that way, that's fine. I mean, I did a lot of research on this in the week before we decided to come here, so I'm pretty certain.
Okay, well, give me the name and I will verify so we have peace of mind, and then... Maybe I don't know, maybe I could ask what is guarding it or something. You want to know what we are going to find?
That might be a better question, actually. If we already know where, then, you know, getting information on what the safest route to that place is, or how, you know, if there's anything specifically we should be aware of what to avoid, might be a better use of your power.
Okay, well, I will do this before bed. I'm going to go take off these things, because they're really nice, but they're a little bit itchy. I think maybe, you know, I don't know, I don't wear much silk. I think maybe I'm allergic to it or something.
I mean, your skin is, like, made out of rock. It's not the most natural pairing with silk that I would have thought of, so...
But it keeps catching, and I'm a bit worried that maybe it is getting a bit roughed up on the inside.
I think it's probably ruined, yeah.
Yeah. That's sorry.
So, as you're winding down, going to bed, who is sleeping where?
Inaku's bed in his arms.
Oh.
Oh.
JK.
But not JK, really.
But not
JK. Yeah, where does everybody sleep?
We have a room. Do we have a room each?
You can have a room each should you desire it.
Haydn defo gets his own room, stretches out, big bed, but before he goes there, where does it?
Ascor wanted to talk to Nadan briefly before
Yeah,
bedtime.
sure.
Just go, Nadan, one word. I just want to say I don't appreciate your cursing. Back there, speaking about the spiders. Now, I know it's a topic you're passionate about. Believe me, I do. But do you have to curse so much? Honestly, with Aku around, a man of grace, I don't think it's appropriate. And Rasha, he'll pick anything up. You know? You're not setting a good example.
Are you fucking serious?
I pity you.
Just like stares at you, dumbfounded.
Ascor just goes, just walks away.
I'm gonna try fixing the camera glitching at some point.
Love
that.
Don't worry about it. He's
Oh,
test stream.
poor guy.
We just test.
We
Yeah.
tested him.
Someone's gonna
okay.
get stabbed.
So, as everybody goes to their rooms, Ascor, there is a knock on your door. And as you creak it open and have a look outside, you see the eager, expectant face of Haydn staring up at you.
Can I come in?
Well,
Let me in. And he just like elbows his way through the door and like pushes his way in.
Ascor's clothes are hung up very nicely in the room. You can smell a bit of perfume in there, of course. His satchel, his traveling wash kits, his groomer's kit, let's say, is laid out with all the utensils. And he's currently again wearing one of those like really baggy sort of nightgowns that sort of come up to the,
Does he have a nightcap on as well?
No, there's no nightcap, I'm afraid.
Okay. Ascor, wait. So, and closes the door behind him and kind of looks around. Okay. Remember how earlier we were talking about Ghost, and he's acting kind of suspicious, and he's not telling us anything about his brother.
Hold on. And then Ascor's mouth doesn't move, but you hear no talk. So you're hearing it telepathically, which you can respond telepathically.
Okay, and he speaks the first word out loud, and then he like catches himself, remembers like, okay, wait, mental stuff. Okay, and then so he responds telepathically to you. Is there a word limit on this? Can I only say something?
No.
Okay, we're good. Cool. So, Ghost is acting super suspicious, and we couldn't get a word in edgeways at dinner because basically, his dad kept answering for his mom, and as a feminist, I'm not really into that. So anyway, I was thinking what we should do is we should go speak to his mom directly and just be like, oh hey, it's so difficult being a mother, isn't it? Well, I guess I can't say that, I'm not a mom. But anyway, we just want to hear about Romen, but like Ghost is like kind of shy. I don't know, like brotherly rivalry or something. I don't know. I can't talk to people very well, but you are very good at speaking to people. And I thought, why not you go and speak to Ghost's mom and try to get some information about Romen, because I don't think Ghost is going to tell us anything, and I think it would be really useful for us to know. What
Do they celebrate birthdays here?
I don't know.
Let's assume they celebrate birthdays. Well, we'll just simply approach her and say, your dearest son, his birthday is on the horizon.
Yeah, we
want
do
to get
something
him
special.
a present. We want to surprise him. In fact, we thought we might bring his brother out to see him.
Yeah. That and because Ghost has been talking so much about how much he misses Romen, and he sometimes we catch him crying a little bit at night because he's like, oh, I wish I could see him again. But we don't know enough about him to go find him and have a little brotherly reunion for the birthday.
Well, I like your idea. I mean, my idea. Of course, it's a brilliant one.
Yeah,
But
of course your idea is the best one.
the issue is, when are we supposed to do this? I mean,
Right now.
look at what time it is.
Yeah, but we gotta do it now before Ghost is awake. And we go find his mom, and like, you know, she's like sitting like in her tea room having a little like before bed like cup of tea and a biscuit or something, and then you're like, oh, I'm from the esteemed, what's your family called again? Geldare.
Well, we're out here, just call them the oh fuck, what did I say? Oh, damn it.
Anyway.
Brentfords.
Brentford. Okay. I'm from the esteemed Brentford family, and I'm just so impressed by all your livery, or I don't know what you guys call it, but anyway, can talk fancy to her. And
sure,
like,
I can do all the pleasantries. That's easy enough.
And
okay, we need to move fast, and I'll need a minute. I've not yet put my blusher on.
Okay.
So I need to do that first.
So make yourself pretty, handsome, and I was thinking, I'll go get Rasha, and he'll go with you, because Rasha's like a walking lie detector, so he can like listen at the door and like know if she's telling you the truth, and you can just tease the secrets out of her and not worry about whether it's true or not. It's like the perfect combo. What do you think?
Sure, just tell him not to put his armor on. He's suspicious just hearing that guy walk around the place like that at this time.
Okay, cool.
Presumably he doesn't sleep in his armor anymore.
I hope not. But, okay, so I'll let you get ready. I'll go tell Rasha. And while you guys are doing that...
Alright, just go.
Okay, go. Okay, see you soon. And he leaves, closes the door, and walks along the hallway to Rasha's room.
Ascor clothes.
You probably find Rasha in his little nightie. His hair is down, and maybe he's midway through putting it in a little plait to keep it out the way, being practical and a blacksmith sort of hairstyle. And he sat probably setting up a little divination circle to Geb. I don't know if Haydn knocks. He kind of pushes it open and says, "Oh, Haydn, hello. How can I? Sorry, I'm sort of wearing a nightie and things."
Don't worry about it. So Haydn closes the door, looks around, kind of goes over to Rasha. He's like, "I gotta speak to you, but like really quietly."
Oh, okay. And he kind of leans down really far and just sort of crouches a little bit, so he's about level with Haydn.
I forgot. You're like 6'10", and I'm 5'7".
Yeah, so he kind of like crouches down and so, okay, cool.
Haydn kind of pulls over one of the chairs that's like on the next to the vanity and steps on it. So he's like a little bit. You don't have to bend so much.
Yeah, we can do this. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know how you were saying earlier that you think Ghost is maybe a little bit suspicious, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, it is well established he's extremely suspicious.
Yeah, and we need to find out why Romen is appearing in Aku's dreams.
Right, and where he is now, because if he was just having the same dream as Aku, he must be somewhere in this world.
Yeah.
Unless he is actually in the stars,
So, I just spoke to Ascor, and Ascor's gonna go speak to Ghost's mom and try to find out information about Romen, because we need to know, and I don't think Ghost is gonna tell us.
I've been thinking, if I were to maybe have something of romance, I tried this scry and it did not work, but there are many reasons that could happen.
That's a really good idea.
Maybe I suspect his mother does not keep bits of his nails in the way that Ghost does with us, but is this a thing? I have heard that there are some places in the world where mothers keep locks of hairs of their babies for safekeeping.
Yeah, I think I heard that some mom keep like baby teeth and stuff.
Basically, if she has a body part or something, then it will be so much easier for me to describe. But garments as well, or his possessions, or even just a real painting of Mr. Roman.
Maybe she's got like Roman's fingers.
Maybe she has Roman's
doesn't
fingers.
Have the fingers, maybe.
I do not think that it's genetic. I think Ghost just lost his fingers. I think Roman probably has his fingers.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. We did not ask Aku.
Okay, so I've got this idea. I'm gonna go with Ascor, and Ascor's gonna speak to Ghost's mom.
Great.
You're...
Well, I will ask her for her son's body part then.
No, don't ask that. No, I thought what's a really good idea is because Ascor is really good at speaking to fancy people. So,
Yes.
but you're really good at knowing when people are telling the truth or not. So I was thinking you go with him and listen to the conversation, and then when you're done, we can get Ascor to find out where Roman's room is, and then we can go there and get something of Roman's, and then you can scry on Roman. And then we'll have information about Roman and something of Roman's.
I do not have enough power left to scry on him today, but yes, we must do
tomorrow.
this later. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I think I can probably help us go out a little bit magically as well.
Yeah. But don't put your armor on.
Do not put. Well, no, it will take me so long to get dressed. I will put these silly these robes, these dresses on.
Put the robe on.
Yeah, I
and-
cannot go in my night shirt.
Yeah.
That would be sort of inappropriate to see his mother dressed like this.
Oh, and you remember that spell that you cast when we were in the Underdark and we had to like walk really quietly?
Oh yeah, yes.
Can you cast that one once you're with Ascor? Because I think that would be good. Just in
I
case.
can do that. Yes, and I will also enhance, his ability to. I will make him better at the speaking.
That's really smart. That's really smart. That's why I like you,
Okay.
Rasha. Okay,
Well, I'm not smart, really.
you should give yourself more credit. You're pretty
Oh.
smart. You
Yes,
were the
Lily.
leader of the Church of Geb. You need brains to do that.
It is true. I am your high priest. So, bow down.
Praise be to Geb.
Praise be to
Let's
Geb.
take
I
this
will
moment to
speak
pray
Geb.
to Geb, and Haydn reaches forward and grabs Rasha's hands.
Just
into like a little
says,
prayer.
Yeah, okay. Hello, Geb. You're not in Geboleth. Nadan was being really mean. See you soon. I will ask you about your Mr. Vespin. Okay.
Dear Mr. Geb, please watch over Rasha while he does. Well, he listens for information about Roman.
Thank you, Geb.
Thank you, Mr. Geb. Cool. All right.
Thanks, Mr.
Oh.
Geb.
No problem.
Okay. Could all three of you, when you regroup, please make stealth checks?
Yeah, but pass without
I'm-
a trace. for
I'm
the
not going
next.
with them. It's just them two.
Ah,
Because
just those
then-
two. Okay.
Actually,
Then I go down the hallway to Aku's room, but we can loop back on that later.
Okay.
Alright.
Both you two make stealth checks.
Some Professor Lane shit. What's going on?
Hayden's being sneaky.
I'm scheming.
that's a
Classic
20.
rogue.
20 total.
20 total.
Ascor?
It's a 29 from you, boy.
29. Okay. Will Ghost be actively listening, or probably just passive, right? You
I
would...
mean, if they were 20 and 29, I doubt he would have heard them.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
not assuming they'd go out, but like he obviously doesn't sleep, so.
As we're setting
okay.
off, Rasha will probably whisper, hey, I cannot, hold this. And also, Ascor, do you want some help with your, more words? Better at speaking? What is more important for this?
Well, let's keep a low profile with whatever you've got going on here. Honestly, it's very strange. Just like
Yeah.
extra shadows. I mean, can't really describe it.
I know it is really
What
weird.
a
It's
peculiar spell.
kind of
honestly.
normal in the Underdark because everything is shadows, but here it is just sort of weird.
It is. Anyway,
Okay,
let's keep this going. It's good. Keep things quiet. I mean, Ghost sees us, whatever, but it's
I'm sure you'll be fine. You don't need my help to speak to someone.
sure. And Haydn said, and then Ascor looks around, links telepathically. Haydn said that the plan is to for you to keep an earring for the things she says while I, schmooze, and I'll keep this little connection going for a while. And if you have suggestions or observations, do keep them brief. But please do share.
I also need Roman's body part or some of his clothes.
What?
Well, so I can scry on him later.
Okay.
Do a better job
oh.
at it.
Okay, maybe we can manage that.
Momentos, you know? Then
Sure. Mementos, got it. What did you get a read on what she was like? Frankly, I expected her to be more of the father of this whole kind of drow thing, but she was definitely the mother. And I didn't really get much of a sense of what she's like, did you? Did she seem particularly shrewd?
she was very different to how I'd imagine a drow wife to be. Jamie, with a 19 passive insight, did I ascertain anything about her behavior which might lead me to believe she was any kind of way?
She came across as she obviously cared a great deal about Ghost. She came across as quite like prim and proper, and definitely was a bit reserved. As Haydn said, seemed to be spoken over quite a bit, and was going to say quite a few things, and then was either spoken over or thought better of it.
So, I got this sense it is really weird. Yeah, she outwardly loved her son. She sort of really obviously cares about him, which is, that is strange for a drow woman. But she seemed a little bit guarded. I think probably she wanted to say more things. So I get the sense, little bit of help if she's alone. We might need to get her alone without her husband.
Yeah, I got an idea for that. That I think should be manageable.
Okay. You know what you're doing.
Sure. Of course I do. Anyway.
Am I just here to accompany? Am I just sort of standing here?
You are. You're here to accompany me, and, well, it depends. If she's there by herself, we'll try and talk.
Okay.
There's just the etiquette of entering a lady's bedchamber after a certain hour, or at all, for that matter. Certainly if she's with company, aka, or that's the way to say, that being Ghost's father, then it may be wise for us to summon some help and request an audience. I think it'd be more respectful and more off the way in places like this. And then we might suggest perhaps a tour from her around the gardens while we
I have never
ask.
entered a lady's bedchambers, so I do not know the protocol, but this sounds good.
There are two different approaches, and we're only going to be exploiting one avenue this evening.
Okay, and if it does not work, maybe the other avenue another evening.
Sure.
Great. I guess with that, we're prepared.
Well,
Send
I
us in,
suppose,
coach.
Yeah.
As you guys sneak off with what you do, it doesn't stop you. Aku, what were you doing, or what do you think you'd be able to accomplish? What you want to accomplish before Haydn shows up?
Nothing. I mean, is Haydn gonna knock on Aku's door? So, as Haydn goes up to Aku's room, he kind of knocks and gets no response. And as you knock again, your fist kind of pushes the door open a bit, and when you poke your head in, Aku's not in his room.
God, it's like something out of a horror movie. Okay, I'm gonna slip into the room really quietly and shut the door behind me and have a quick glance around. Can I see him in the room? Is he hidden in there, or
Nope.
do a little cheeky investigation check?
Oh.
See any evidence of where he might have gone if he's not in there? 28.
Yeah, so you'll notice that like his boots and his like trousers and stuff are just like not on the bed where all of his other clothes are, and he's just like not even touched the bed sheets or anything, so he's clearly just left the room.
Okay. I will try to get a sense of where he might have gone. Gonna open the door and slip back out into the hallway and have a look to see. Are the floors like carpeted or stone?
Stone.
Stone. Can I see any like Aku's covered in like moss and leaves and twigs and stuff because he's like a nature paladin. Is there any like dirt trail that I can follow?
It's got nothing to do with the nature paladin. He's just a dirty boy. No, he had a bath, so
He's wearing a silk robe.
Oh.
yeah. There's no dirt to speak of. I mean, I don't know how keen your tracking skills are, so
Yeah, I'll give it a try. See if I can spot anything that might give me a sense of where he might have gone. Would that be survival?
Yes.
Ugh.
You're tracking now.
Timora, be with me.
You mean praise Gab?
Oh yeah, praise Gab. 11.
On the stone floor. Sorry, go on. It's like-
no, you go.
I was gonna say with like on the stone floor, it's pretty difficult to track. If Aku's not taking anything obvious, I'd say you probably don't have any idea where he's gone.
How do the corridors look? Like, how are the rooms laid out? Like, is it easy to see down the hallway, or are some of the rooms like kind of round the corner or on a different floor?
Sorry, I'll say it again. How easy it is to see the corridors? It's like a spiral tower up, so you lose yourself pretty quickly in corners.
Wait, sorry, what? Can you repeat that, please? I was just
Sorry.
basically asking vaguely what the like room layout was on the corridor.
Oh, so where you guys currently are, it's a tower, so it's kind of like a spiral staircase up, and each room kind of comes out, and then at the bottom there's kind of like a common room. When you go out, there are corridors that are a lot wider and kind of go in a bit of a square round.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna try to cast a message then. And I'm gonna... Its range is 120 feet. I can cast it through walls as long as I'm familiar with the target. I'd say I'm pretty familiar with Aku. So I am just gonna basically stand on the spot, pull out my little bit of copper wire and try to pick a direction he might have gone in and point and be like, Aku, this is Haydn. Where are you? I need to speak to you. And after casting that, if he doesn't get a response, he's going to turn to a slightly different angle and try again in that angle, and then turn and try again in the other angle. He basically does a full 360, casting the cantrip over and over and again until he hopefully gets a hold of Aku.
Eventually, Aku, you hear that in your head?
Aku just replies in Hayden's mind, saying, "What is it? I'm out for a walk. Is it important?"
It's really important. I need you for an important task involving the guy you're seeing in your dreams. Please come back to your room.
You just hear a grunt and saying, "I'll be back soon."
Cool.
Okay,
Hayden
so while this is all going on, Aku is knocking on Ghost's door.
Oh man. Well, Ghost
I've been expecting this.
opens the door and he's like, I was just asleep. It's a bit late, isn't it? I know that the cycle can be a bit weird for you guys, but what's up?
Does Ghost look like he's just got out of bed, or is he just bullshitting? Do I need to insight check that, or is it obvious?
It will be quite obvious.
Okay. in your mind, you just hear, "May I come in?"
That depends. Are you going to stab me?
Aku like smiles a bit and just says, "No, Ghost. I wasn't planning on stabbing you."
I feel like you weren't planning on stabbing the Mind Flayer, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt this time when he opens the door.
Planning to, but still on the table.
So Aku kind of walks into the room like as if he has like something on his mind, and he sits down on a chair or whatever is close to the bed, and looks at Ghost kind of directly in the eyes. And you hear inside your head, "This might be surprising to you, Ghost, but I've come to apologize. I think it was unfair of us to..." And this sounds like he's really struggling to say this, like even mentally. Perhaps we shouldn't have jumped to conclusions and said that you weren't trustworthy and that you never did anything for us. And I understand that you want to keep your affairs private. But I just wanted to say that I respect that. And although it will be a very different matter if mine or Rasha's or anyone in the party's life is on the line, that I would appreciate it if perhaps when you did feel like talking, that I would be someone that you could come and talk to.
Ghost's face is like the white guy blinking gif. He's just like, huh. Okay. It's hard for me to like step forward and like, springboard off that because my initial reaction is to just make a horrible joke out of everything, but you're clearly being very sincere here, so I feel like that would be super inappropriate to the spirit of what you've brought to me. So I'll try to resist. Okay, right. The moment's passed. We're through that moment. Yeah, I appreciate that. I know it's like hard to be like nice to people, maybe. And there's a lot going on right now, especially since I guess maybe what this whole journey has opened up is that none of us really know anything about each other than that we've all killed a bunch of stuff together, which is like dope and everything, and that's the best kind of friendship. Finding cool stuff and also having cool stuff. The stuff with my brother is, I should have kind of expected it to come up, obviously, since I was coming home, and it was naive of me to assume that you guys wouldn't be interested, especially given your sexy dreams about him. I'm assuming it was sexy. I wasn't really listening, to be honest. There's more to it than it seems, obviously, because if there wasn't more to it, then I would have just told you guys. Our family home isn't the place I really want to hash that out. There's too many memories here. And I know I seem like the super cool type of guy who just can kind of brush anything off and, likes to eat fingers or whatever. I don't know what you guys think that I do in my spare time, but you know, I'm a person too, believe it or not. And I did have a life once that was sort of normal. And I'd like to keep that normal life preserved. And then I'd like to keep my weirdness outside of that. And maybe once we've left tomorrow, I'll share a bit more and let you guys kind of know what the situation is.
Then I have a look at how genuine I think Ghost is being.
Go for it.
Oh, that's a stab in the back. Man bears his soul. I want to insight check it.
Insight check, bitch.
Oh,
19.
Find out. 15?
19.
19. What's Ghost's charisma?
19, I think.
Yeah, you can roll. Persuasion or deception, up to you.
It's that one. Not lying.
Yeah.
20.
20. Inscrutable as ever. Ghost.
I mean, given
face
that
is
what he
difficult.
just said, like, it definitely comes across as genuine. This was just more like an insight check to see if Aku could, like, tell if it was coming from a truthful place, but obviously he kind of doesn't have any idea. It seems genuine, but he isn't sure.
Yeah, I'd say Ghost has always been hard to read, but that seemed pretty genuine.
Aku kind of gets up and he just like stretches and says into Ghost's mind, "Well, Ghost, you have my word that I won't push you unless I need to. But I just came to tell you that I do respect your personal affairs to stay as your own, but I do hope that at some point you would feel comfortable enough to talk. After all, we are companions, are we not? And in return, I would be happy to talk about anything you wish to know. Not that there is anything interesting, but just
Well, I would have said there wasn't anything interesting about me, but you guys have plenty of questions, so there we go.
He suddenly looks like mildly annoyed and says, "Well," just like clears his throat. "Haydn is pestering me, so I will leave you to your sleep. Good night, Ghost."
Fair enough. I guess one thing I would just say is don't spoil the hospitality of my parents. I've been kind of underplaying what it means to be human. Or especially like Nadan here. Because I know that I can push my parents, but yeah, they're going above and beyond, so because they're soft.
Aku like nods in understanding and then sort of closes the door quietly behind him.
And I have to go and release the beast. I'll be back in a second.
Meanwhile, the rest of the team are abusing Ghost Parents' hospitality.
Meanwhile,
I feel so bad.
This
Ascor
tender,
and
heartwarming
Rasha,
moment.
you stand down at the bottom of the corridor, tower behind you, looking ahead of you. Nobody seems to be in any of the corridors in front or to the side of you. What are you doing?
So quiet, Ascor.
Hold on a second. Let me really listen. And I'm going to cast Detect Thoughts as a sorcerer spell. So I'm going to use 2 sorcery points to cast it. And there are no components, so there's no sound or whatever. So let me just notch those sorcery points off. Okay, and if I remember correctly...
A creature that you can see within 30 feet of you.
No, you can also detect presence of creatures as well. I think within 30 feet as well.
Use a spell to detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see when they're within 30 feet of you. Yep, 2 feet of rock, 2 inches of any metal. Okay.
Yeah, and I guess we'll move. From where we are, do I detect any presences of anyone I might?
Yeah, 30
determine
feet.
to be-
There are a couple of you identify them as hobgoblins below you. There don't appear to be anything else other than your compatriots and friends behind you.
Cool. All right.
What do you see?
And Ascor, even though he doesn't need to, just to sort of like, just so Rasha kind of gets the idea. Ascor goes like, this stupid shit. Puts his hands up to his head and puts his hands to his temple like he's doing some psionic stuff. He's like, okay, I think I can find them. And we're gonna press forwards, I guess, Clued?
Yeah, Ascor, you live in fancy houses. Where do the heads of fancy houses sleep? Is it like an upstairs thing? I mean, in the Underdark it was down because, you would bury deeper into the rock and it would be safer.
Speaking psionically, opening the link again. Yeah, well, I think normally it's gonna be higher up the house in a place like this.
Okay, lead on.
And Jamie, I guess, using my knowledge as a nobleman, we'll try to go around and kind of detect the sense of, or the kind of door case, the sort of perhaps potential decorations of a master bedroom of sorts.
Yep, make an investigation check.
Is that with the advantage because I've got detect thoughts running?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Your boy's gonna need it. That's a natural 1, and that's 6. And I'm probably gonna burn 1 sorcery point. What's it called? It's called magical guidance. I'm gonna burn 1 more sorcery point for that. And I'm gonna re-roll that. Come on, baby. 11.
Okay. Walking around this huge mansion for 10, 15 minutes, kind of going up some floors, going down. You maybe think maybe it's in one of the other kind of towers leaning off, and you walk around the outside. And with the tech thoughts, I'll say for a bit, you're able to avoid. You see there's a couple of, they don't look well armed or particularly guarded. There's a couple of servants who are clearly walking around. You catch sight of Belfron kind of directing a couple of them. Looking out some of the windows, you can see that there's kind of a small wall around the dwelling, around the gardens, and there are guards patrolling that. It's quite an expanse, and it's quite a maze. 20, 30 minutes of walking.
If it's going to be that long, I think after 10 minutes, Rasha would probably grab Ascor's sleeve and say, Ascor, are we lost?
We're not lost. We're just not making any headway. Let's just talk to one of the servants.
Well, no, what I'm thinking is if you would like to make... What is his phrase? If you would like to make head, then I could send a message to the Miss Lady and say, hello, this is, the people from dinner. If you remember us, we would like an audience. Is that okay? It is just 2 of us. Can we come to see you? Or maybe Ascor and I would like a tour of the garden because he really likes plants.
Well, we can say both. We can say a tour of the garden, but we wish to discuss a surprise for your son.
Oh, that is very clever. Okay. And Jamie, I'm going to cast the sending spell. So Rasha will kind of like finger his little symbol of Geb and just kind of his eyes flash gold for a second. And he's gonna mutter, hello, Mrs. Ghost. Sorry, Elenia. Ascor and I want to talk to you about a surprise party for Ghost. Can we talk in the gardens?
There is no reply, and as a practitioner of the spell, you feel as though it didn't make a connection.
He blinks. Oh, Ascor, there is no connection. Maybe she is dead.
What? Don't be ridiculous.
Well, I suppose she could also be shielded. I
That would make
suppose.
more sense as a noble. It's not uncommon by any means.
But she
Look,
could also be dead,
let's-
though.
She could also be dead. Yes, Rasha. I understand what you said the first time. But look, let's be realistic. Let's just go and talk to a servant and just ask, hey, which way is the lady's chamber? In fact, could you accompany us? We have a question to ask her.
Wait, yes, we saw Mr. Belfry, the Belfry man.
Was that the kind of head servant, was it, or something?
He's not like head
butler.
butler, right? Yeah.
Yep.
You know, we could say we want to have a surprise party for Mr. Ghost to him because he seemed to like Ghost, you know.
Sure,
We just don't want you
okay,
to go
we-
back to Ghost that we are sneaking around in his family home and, you know.
Yeah,
But we aren't really sneaking, we are just trying to make him a party.
Sure. Happy
Yeah.
to.
Okay. Can we relocate Mr. Belferin?
Yeah, I'd say given you know his location, you can see him, and he's kind of seems to be stacking some wine into a side cupboard. And as you kind of turn around this time, you're not being particularly stealthy. You're trying to avoid. You turn and goes, "Yeah, yes. Excuse me. You seem to be quite far from your rooms. Is everything all right?"
We are so lost.
Right.
Ascor,
Were
explain
you
this.
looking for something?
We're
Yes.
not lost. Hold on, Rasha. Yes, well, we thought it best to come to you and ask. We have something important. Important to us, important to our friend, what is it the ghost is referred to again?
Elenia.
Elenia. To Elenia, and I think, I'm pretty certain in fact, Lady Everfell. Everfell. We would like to request an audience with her. And at the same time, I think a tour of the gardens at such a lovely hour would be a wonderful way to have that discussion. Do you think this is something that could be arranged for this evening?
I shall certainly see if the lady is still awake and willing. However, person retires early after the dinner.
Tell her it is a surprise party for Elenia, so she cannot.
And Ascor cuts you off, goes, shh, okay, all right, yes. And says to the head butler, yes, we want to discuss a surprise for Elenia. And I think it'll be something close to her heart.
Make a deception check, Meredith.
Well, Jamie, what I will say is, as a noble, my feature position of privilege here, it says along the lines of, thanks to your noble birth, people are inclined to think the best of you. You're welcome in high society, and people assume you have the right to be wherever you are. The common folk make every effort to accommodate you and avoid your displeasure. And other people of high birth treat you as a member of the same social sphere. You can secure an audience with a local noble if you need to.
I bow
As if.
to background. He sighs.
No one uses the background features. Read your background features.
He sighs.
Incredible.
Wonderful.
I shall.
I'm so impressed.
Merrar. I should show you just somewhere where it's appropriate you can wait. Would you like anything to eat or to drink?
Yes. Do you have any elderflower?
Of course.
Marvelous.
More.
Hibiscus, if you have any.
You shall see what the kitchen is at in store.
You're most kind. Your hospitality will be mentioned.
It's like a slight smile on his face. Curling up the lip. And Rasha, I believe.
Yes. Could I have some milk, please?
Goat's milk.
I did like the goat one more. Thank you.
And he kind of like motions you into what seems to be a bit of a reading room. Lots of moving bookshelves, things. I think I should be back momentarily, and kind of leaves you there. If we snap back to Haydn and Aku.
So
You're muted, Sai.
Haydn just while waiting for Aku to come back is just sitting on his bed in his room, kind of. He probably had a rummage through Aku's things earlier, just out of curiosity, but didn't take anything. It made sure to move everything back to where it was before. But now he's just sitting on the bed waiting for him to come back. He's nosy.
Right, well, pretty quickly after, I guess Haydn has sent the message, Aku returns to his room, opens the door, and sits next to Haydn and says, "Did someone say something?"
No, I was
No.
wait. What are you saying?
And yeah, says, inside Haydn's mind. So, what was it you had to say, Haydn?
Oh, good. You're here. Okay, so you remember that conversation we had earlier this morning about how Ghost has been collecting some suspicious items like petrified feathers and mind flayer tentacles and giant eggs from purple worms and all that stuff. And we don't know what he's using it for. And it's a little bit suspicious. But more importantly, I mean, not more importantly, but important to me at least, he kind of took like a vial of my blood like a couple days ago. Without asking, by the way. So it was non-consensual. And, you know, that's not cool. So I kind of want to go get my blood back. And maybe see if there's any clues inside his bag that could tell us a bit about what he's planning, because the whole petrified angel thing was kind of dangerous, and that guy totally could have just like killed us all when he woke up, and I don't know why he didn't, but we're really lucky. But if stuff like that's going to keep happening, I think we should at least know what we're getting ourselves into so we can be a bit more prepared. But he doesn't tell us anything, so I thought probably it makes sense to go try to find out ourselves. And I was wondering if you would maybe help me.
So, what you're suggesting is I help you go through Ghost's possessions without his consent.
Well, I would say that it's more retrieving something that was stolen from me. And you can't steal something that was stolen. You are just retrieving something that belongs to you. So I want to go get my blood back, and while I'm there, if I happen to see anything that is, you know, a scribbled note saying 2 pinches of feather dust and 1 cracked open omelet of purple worm equals teleportation circle to the 9 hells, or he's always talking about the 9 hells. I don't know, maybe that's what he's doing. I don't
Prejudice.
know. I'm not trying to be prejudiced, but anyway, I just want to know what he's doing. I'm so curious, and he never tells me, and he's so oh, he's like a lockbox, and no matter how much I try to get information out of him, he's just like, it's so frustrating. I just want to know. So
Then, have you asked Ghost for your blood back?
Oh, no. But I have a feeling he won't give it back to me, so I figured I should just go grab it.
Well, wouldn't the logical step be to ask him first?
But he didn't ask me for my blood first, so I feel like that we've already crossed that line.
Aku kind of like sits back and and sort of like looks at Haydn. And you hear, Haydn, I understand your suspicions. Really, I do. And I'm not saying that your idea is a bad one, but I think while we are in his childhood home and he seems to be in a fairly fragile state of mind, having talked about his brother and his family, I would suggest that if that was something you wanted to do, to wait until we were away from his home to do it.
But he kind of like he's really unsure and he's kind of thinking about it. I just don't feel safe knowing he's got my blood. And he's got access to all of his, I'm assuming, lab equipment here. I don't know what he's gonna do with it.
Oh, how are you thinking that you'll be able to go through his bag without him noticing? Also, GM, I have a question.
Yes.
Given the line of work that Aku has worked, would he have seen a bag of holding before?
Yes.
So he would have recognized that Ghost putting huge amounts of shit in his bag meant that into a small bag he had a bag of holding.
Yeah. In terms of magic items, they're one of the more common ones.
Yeah. And he turns to Haydn and says, and you do realize that you need to know what's in Ghost's bag to be able to retrieve it. You can't just look through it like a normal bag, right?
Yeah, that's easy. That's what makes it less invasive, actually, because I'm only going to get things that I know are there. I'm not rummaging through all of his personal effects. I would never do that. So, I'll just, so this is my grand idea, right? Okay, we go to his room. You knock on the door, and you're like, "Hey, Ghost. I've been meaning to tell you that I'm in love with you." And then you like, and then he's like, "Oh my god, Aku, I have been making eyes at you for months, and finally you noticed." And then you're like, why don't we kiss and stuff? And then while you guys start like making out and stuff, I will sneak into the room and just like get my hand into the bag and be like, Haydn's blood, Haydn's blood, Haydn's blood, and then it'll appear in my hand, and I'll be like, "Duh." and then I'll maybe go for like round 2 and be like, Ghost's notebook, and then like, then the notes will come out, and the notes will be all like, this is a little recipe for his whatever he's doing, and then I can just have a little look and be like, oh, so that's what he's doing. It's totally above board, nothing to worry about. We're Gucci, and then I'll like pop it back in the bag. He'll never know any difference. You guys are still making out. Maybe you're enjoying it. Maybe you're not. I don't know. Like, if you're into him, something. I thought maybe you're into Rasha, but I don't know. I don't want to assume. Anyway, after that, I just sneak out of the room. You guys like stay making out or whatever you want to do, and we're done. It's really easy.
Aku is just staring in absolute disbelief and mild disgust at Haydn as he talks about Aku trying to seduce Ghost.
I mean, you wouldn't really have to try. You already got one titty. You already got one titty out.
Stop
Aki,
with that.
Aki, do the.
The Aku First Club rears its head again. Hello,
Look.
Twitch.
The club is back in session.
Hello, we're here to talk today about Aku's one titty, which is born to the world.
So what do you think?
Look, Haydn, I personally think your plan has some major flaws in it currently, and I have just spoken to Ghost, and it would be extremely strange for me to go back and have another conversation with him, and I think that he will be very suspicious. I'm not
much
saying
talking will be involved, really, but
I'm not saying that I won't help you, but I think that we should perhaps do this another night and not tonight.
okay, you'll help me though. Just not tonight.
Well, I think we'd all like to know what Ghost has been working on.
Yeah. I usually trust my gut feeling about things, because usually my gut's right, and something doesn't feel right. I think if what he was doing was something that wasn't dangerous, or something that could put us at risk, I think he would be a lot more keen about talking about it, because he seems really proud of his research and all the things he does anyway, and he loves talking, so why doesn't he talk about what he's working on and what we're risking our lives to help him get? It just doesn't make sense to me. So.
Well, I never said I didn't agree with you. I just think that perhaps tonight isn't the night. And also, we should be wary of the fact that we don't know who is listening or watching in this house. And we wouldn't want to offend the master and the mistress of the house, so...
Yeah.
You know, Haydn, you seemed a little frantic tonight. Is everything okay? Where's everyone else? Have you spoken to them tonight, or is it just me you've paid a visit to?
You know, Aku, I've been meaning to tell you for a really long time that I think you're really handsome, and maybe if you don't have feelings for Rasha or Ghost, but maybe you'll give me a chance.
I mean, I want to say insight check, but I don't even know whether this would be an insight check. This is a medicine check to see if Haydn has lost his fucking mind.
I think you make a wisdom saving throw.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 9.
Jamie, what does a 9 mean?
Haydn, that's your all medical knowledge. Haydn is sound of mind, if not sound of reason.
Look, you know, just have a think about it. You don't have to answer me tonight. I know I've kind of sprung this on you all of a sudden, but I'm a great kisser. I've been told by many people, so, you know, think about it, and, I'll see you later. And he kind of gets up and does, like, the awkward bisexual finger guns and, like, walks backwards, like, towards the door before, like, trying to grab it, intending on leaving very quickly.
Aku does not move. His mouth is just slightly open, just staring at Haydn, like, backing out the door.
See you later! And closes the door and leaves.
Well, apparently Aku is too dumb to have any idea what the fuck is going on, so he's gonna get into bed.
Back to the others. Ghost, if you want to let me know if you're up to anything this evening. Does everybody else need to fucking be? After some time, and kind of looking a little bit bleary-eyed, walks in Merrar, followed by Belafron. Hello, this is slightly unexpected. Is everything alright? Belafron mentioned a party. Is this not something we can discuss in the morning?
No, we are going to a dangerous place to maybe die tomorrow in the morning, so...
Do you want the party now? Do you not want to go
No.
to sleep?
No, please. Just let me talk, Rasha, please.
Sorry.
We didn't want to take too much of your time. As we know, too, it's late, and we have a long road to travel tomorrow. But... Is it Elemnor? What's Ghost's
Merrar.
name again?
The last name?
No, Ghost's first name again.
Elenia.
Elenia, of course, like Enya, but Elenia. Got it. Elenia!
Not all like Enya in any way.
Cool.
Ellen, yes.
Elenia! Lady Everfell. Your son is important to us. We've become close over such a long time now. We've traveled together. And as we've said, we're entering a place that could be very dangerous and, well, will be very dangerous and could be very much the last place some of us visit. And we'd like to do something special for your son. And as we know, his day of birth is something we like to celebrate in our culture. Is it the same for you?
I mean, yes, of course. The name day, but it's not Elenia's name day for quite some time.
We know, and it's just because, well, some of us may not come back from this trip, but it's important to us that we at least show our gratitude, if not alone for bringing us to your wonderful home, meeting your wonderful family, and bringing us to where we need to be to do what we need to do. We wouldn't be here without Ghost.
Sounds like it's put you all at great risk. I think let's just celebrate that, do we?
Ascor pauses and he goes, Why, yes, I suppose he has, but, we can tell family is important to you and that you have a strong bond with your son. If anything, we've begun to form something of a family of our own out here on the road. And I feel we're the only ones looking out for one another.
I am not someone that's ever had a family, Miss Everthill. But, seeing the way you see your son is really, it is really nice. I don't know, I just wanted to say that. It is not something I've ever really seen, so...
I suppose he's needed something like that for the past decade, and I'm glad he's found it in you, and those are very kind words.
But as you know, he doesn't see his brother as often as he'd like. And we don't know if it's possible. And Ascor is looking Rasha in the eyes, but speaking, not searching Rasha for an answer, but just looking. That it may be possible to bring his brother here, potentially to meet with all of you.
You think he'd come
that would
back
be
as well?
something very special for you.
That would be amazing. Is that something you have the power to do?
Yeah, I'm really good at finding people, so... I just need, I don't know. I guess more about him and we could track him down. Ghost is quite... Sorry, Elenia is really... I don't know, he seems... I guess he misses his brother. He does not speak of him much.
They've always been.
In fact,
brothers is always a little bit of rivals, but they cared for each other deeply. I know that. Yeah.
in
What
the
do you need to
respect
know?
for...
Sorry.
Well, and firstly, in their respect for all religions we hold in this great land, Rasha, if you could just say a small prayer for, I insert brother's name here, which Ascor members believe does not.
Romen.
Roman, come bowling with me. Yeah. If you could say a short prayer for Romen there, that maybe with Geb's help we may bring him closer. And then you hear in your head immediately after, I want you to empower my ability to talk. Jazz me up. I want all the frills. This is gonna work.
Okay, yeah, I will pray now. We are praying. Hello, Gib. And let me just check what the components are on this. But I will beseech Geb's aid and cast Enhance Ability and endow Mr. Ascor with Eagle Splendor.
Eagle, that's the one.
So yeah, he's gonna say, hello, Gib. I really need your help right now at this moment. And he's just gonna put his hand on Ascor's shoulder and say, the two of us are so keen to find Mr. Roman so we can celebrate Elenia's birthday, which is not soon, but we will celebrate it soon for posterity. Thank you, Geb.
Thank you, Gab.
Thank you, Gab.
Does she say thank you, Gab?
Yeah, out of.
He looks up, his eyes.
politeness.
He just blinks and it's like, oh, thank you. He will be so happy to hear that.
Well, as Rasha was saying, to begin this process, will need a memento or something of your son. I don't know if you happen to. I hear some parents in some lands keep lockets of hair as a good luck charm.
Yeah. I mean, we have articles of clothing, books, journals.
No fingers or anything. But no teeth. Is that a thing here?
I don't have fingers of my son.
Oh, forgive my friend here and his culture.
Sorry,
Anyway.
it's very underdark society is really bad.
So it needs to be. I'm sorry, we clean the room regularly. I doubt any of his clothes have left on them.
Well, a possession would help. It will just help me locate him so we can reach out to him.
Of course. He goes away and she goes away and comes back holding a locket, kind of embossed with silver, obviously very well designed, and inside it is a picture of herself with a younger version of Romen. You recognize? Would this suffice? Does this be more personal?
If it is something of his, then absolutely. Miss, may I ask some questions about? Well, just you said that him and Elenia were really close.
They were.
So they went to travel together, and then neither of them have come back for 10 years. Is that?
Yes. You know, as I said, hijinks, but they always seem to find themselves into trouble one way or another and saved the other or brought them back. I lost count of how many times Alenia came back in Roman's arms or vice versa.
No.
But that's,
No.
being on the cutting edge of research. I worry. I always worry about them, but
Well, he's really
Kilra
fine.
said it's fine.
Yeah, he's really fine. Do they work on the same things? Like the same science? I do not really know science very well. It is really hard, but
I believe there was some crossover. They were both doing work, obviously, regarding Reluxon, and it's such a broad topic. They were coming at it from different angles, but I suppose all of the work is connected. They certainly shared notes and journeyed and explored together. That's what one of the things they were going to do. They left on I believe they were only supposed to be going to the blood fields, but I suppose their travels took them elsewhere, as they so often do.
Rasha kind of side eyes Ascor and blinks very intensely in a kind of wait. Is the mental link open? Would it be open or?
Mm-hmm. You got 10 minutes on it at a time.
Ascor, I'm thinking maybe we could ask for possessions in the form of notes. Maybe there would be a clue to this purple star if she were able to share some of Mr. Roman's wizard notes. I don't know if he kept anything at home.
Of course. I've just remembered. If you have any, well, I don't know how to describe this. Ideas, points to Rasha, any notes, academic perhaps, or on what field did Roman work in? Was it the same as Ghost?
Not quite good. Very early on was to kind of express Elenia always expressed a preference for wanted to go traveling. I was interested, and a lot of that to do was with the way that the Luxon would have influenced the other planes and what happened. Whereas Roman was a lot more grounded. So to put it, a lot of his research focused on the physical artifacts we have and what could be done with them if such a thing were allowed. Obviously, they're closely guarded, but I could show you his notes. I don't know if some of them, I'm sure. I would need to ask Petra. I know that they might be secretive, but
if they are secretive, I don't want to pry. Just it might make it a little easier. The more I know about Roman, the easier it will be to find him. I think probably because he's so powerful, it is really hard for me to just look knowing his name. So when Ghost first mentioned him and we sort of ran into him a little bit, I tried to look, but he is protecting himself from, I guess, me from reaching out and saying, "Hello, Mr. Roman, come to Ghost surprise birthday party." So
would it?
Yeah.
Knowing more about him will overcome this?
I think so. The more familiar I am, the better.
Every little helps.
I make a persuasion check.
Or
a deception check.
Well.
Is it a lie, though?
Deception with advantageousness. Oh boy. Oh yeah. That's looking good. 25.
Yeah.
Look, I'd really like to see my son again. I'm sure that Eleni will too. So I'll take you to his study, and maybe you could try it there. He has one similar to Eleni.
That is really kind. Yeah. Okay.
Well, we can only try. It's exciting.
And she kind of takes you through various things, quite close actually to the place you guys would have originally teleported in, and opens a room. This one again, very much kept in the same way that Elenia's ghost rooms was. It's very obviously been cleaned, but a lot of stuff been left. There are kind of papers, parchments stacked up, lots of books. You notice kind of open letters scattered across a wooden desk, lots of pens and quills, lots more kind of Luxon insignia than there would be here. Than there probably was in Ghost's room. And also, just kind of a stack of unopened letters on the desk, as well as a lot of wardrobes. A lot of bookshelves.
Okay. Is it okay if I just have a quick look for anything like helpful? Ascor, maybe have a look too.
Well, the religious rites need to be observed, and Ascor looks to what's my deal with names? Efravel to Niela and says, Lady Efravel, if we can let Rasha purify the room for a moment, do you think that would be allowed?
I'd rather not leave. I don't know if one would appreciate it.
That is fine. Could I have a quick look around? I'm looking for star stuff, Jamie. Are we seeing anything related to astrology? Are we seeing anything related to... what was it? Was it Kaifon, the thing?
Kaifon, yeah.
Anything related to Kaifon?
Make a investigation check.
If I'm just looking, just running the eyes, looking. Okay. I'm real not good at that. Oh, but it's a natural 18. That's 19 total.
Anyways, investigation, sorry? Yeah.
Yes.
Investigation's intelligence, isn't it? I always forget this.
Yeah.
I always think you're going to be good at it, and I'm like, nope.
No. It's perception I got.
So, amongst kind of a lot of the books, the journals, the drawings, there are lots of sketches to do with the solar system. And there are certainly drawings, occasional ones with a purple star kind of hanging above certain constellations. There are some notes alongside parts of them. There, you probably wouldn't be able to open and flick any books, but you do notice some of the posters like scattered around the room have references to not only the star existing, but the occasional. You probably recognize like Kaifon as being written there.
Okay, in the mind link, Rasha's just gonna grunt. Ascor, there is lots on the purple star, the Kaifon here.
Well, what are we looking for?
Don't know, clues. What is it? More about it? How far they got? What happened to him? Can we help?
She's not gonna know what happened.
No, we need to take these books. Can we steal from this place? I'm so bad at stealing.
Let me have a think. And Ascor, just to buy time, just asked that. So where would he normally sit here?
On his desk, or you can see kind of like a bit like scattered around. He's, I've often come in here and books and parchment flowing everywhere. I quite like this corner over here. Then there's, you can see some lamps over there. Would a quill be helpful? Some ink?
That might be really helpful, actually.
Of course. I mean, as long as it's not his work, you can take anything you like from this room.
Oh, there are Elenia talks a lot about he really likes to look at stars, and I am seeing so much of stars, and I feel a little bit sick when I look at them because it is so big up there, but when they're in a book it is sort of nice because they are contained.
Mm-hmm. Can't really see the stars here. It's
Well,
black.
it is true. Would you mind terribly if I had a little look at this nice star book?
Persuasion check.
Yeah, I'm good at these. So 14 minus 2 for 12.
I'm sorry. It shouldn't need to leave this room. Can you not? Are you going to try to contact Romen?
Yes. Let me do this. Okay. I'm gonna sit in his chair.
Yeah.
And just sort of give Ascor a look of like, please do something. I do not know what to say. She is really, I don't know, prement. She. And just but general noises of distress. And he's gonna, with no 5th level spell slots left to cast Scrying with, still, however, gonna try and attempt ascending. So he's gonna send a message and speak it out loud and hold the locket, and it has to go to someone on this plane of existence. And he will say, hello, Roman. This is Elenia's friend, Rasha. We would like to help you leave where you are so you can come see your brother, because he seems very worried about you.
Did you? Sorry, go on. Sorry, finish that.
Your mum says... He kind of looks at her. Hi?
I miss him.
She misses you.
Could you make an intelligence saving throw for me?
Oh god. Oh god.
Oh no. Oh no.
Is that a... That's a 3!
Okay. That's... You take... 53 points of psychic damage.
Holy
As screams erupt in your head, and just like it's pulsing, and like you feel your head almost begin to expand, and like whomp, like you feel as though your head's about to explode, and you like physically clasp your hands over your ears as blood starts running down your nose and your eyes as you look up. It's just like you're like vibration, just stunned. Like you are stunned.
It sounded like man scream, yeah? Like, that was the response I'm getting from
Sounded
him?
like a cacophony of screaming.
Like my poor mother.
Filled-
What you're putting her through.
Like it wasn't just one scream.
man.
It was as if the universe just suddenly screamed at you.
Rasha's gonna look up, both hands on the desk, and just look at her with a... Wow,
What's happened?
his shield is so strong. He's a really good wizard.
Are you? The light, are you okay? What's?
Your
Do I
son
need to grab
is...
somebody?
No, your son is so powerful. I will heal myself.
Jamie, while this is happening, is she aptly distracted enough by
Just fucking
my
distracted,
friend
absolutely.
imploding that I can attempt to basically swipe the kind of starry book or two?
We are the worst.
You can make a sleight of hand check with advantage.
What are you doing to my mom?
What am I going to do about it? Cool.
Irash is probably just... I'm okay. Fine.
Would I be able to negate a sleight of hand check if I just subtly cast Mage Hand and brought it to myself while she's not looking?
Yes.
Well, I'll...
But have you rolled already?
Have I what, sorry?
Have you rolled already?
No, you would see if I rolled already.
Yeah, fair.
Cool.
I would say she's probably suitably distracted by Rasha that a mage hand would probably succeed as long as you're not physically moving over to it.
I ain't moving nowhere, making a sound. All I'm doing is willing it to happen.
Just
Yeah, in that case.
cool. Grab a couple of the books you see, and as you, if you could make an investigation check, just to see kind of what you grab. But she's run over to Rasha and kind of grabbed your shoulders, like, looking at your eyes, and your eyes are like bloodshot and bleeding.
Yeah. I have my eyes of minute seeing on, which allow me to make investigation with advantage.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. That's a 10. It's a 19. It's good. I'm going with 19.
Cool. Okay.
Yes,
You grab
good.
2 books. You think they're good?
Cool. Sick. Straight in the satchel. That he's always got.
Rasha's like, I really, when I was growing up, I did not really think I would bleed much because I am a bit of it. I'm half made of stone, but I actually think I can. Yeah, that really hurt. Wow.
Of course, Ascor shoots over and sort of grabs you and holds you.
Is this what anyone happens if they try to message Roman? This is dangerous.
No, Roman is just really strong. I guess he is really intent on being.
His magic is powerful. He's well protected.
Yeah.
This well protected, we weren't aware, but you should be proud of your son in a way. This is quite something.
Well, I'll make sure nobody else tries to message him.
Yeah, you might want actually really tell nobody to sending messages to Roman because they might die. Listen, I am actually really strong. I know this seems kind of feeble, but I'm really strong, and this it really hurt a lot. So protect your friends and things.
I love the violin playing now, as you were saying.
I'll let them all know. I'm so sorry. We have a healer. I can fetch them for you.
I'm actually and as he's kind of talking, he's gonna pop off a cure wounds at 4th level, and just sort of start massaging his temples as his hands glow kind of golden, his little skin fissures flash, and for a moment there's a sort of like heat of the forge that seems to track up his little fissures, and things start to kind of meld back together, and he just sort of well, that is a bit better. But I think I will sleep really well. Miss, this has not... I'm sorry we have taken you from bed from this. It turns out it's really hard to reach. We'll have to think again.
But this is not over, is it, Rasha? We've made some progress here today. I think we're a step closer. We can't ruin the surprise.
Hopefully, miss, we will try and do it when we come back here. We will have to come back here from the Bobbed Fields, so maybe we can have your son back then, or we will try to have him, because clearly, your Aunt Elenia love him a lot, so I really want to make sure he's okay.
Please don't. If it's going to do this, not worth it. If he's protecting himself like this, I'm sure he's fine, but I don't want anyone getting hurt on my behalf.
We will try. Anyway, a little bit. We won't try very hard. Just a little bit.
Sorry, this was unfruitful, and sorry you got so hurt. Well, post extra guards outside your door, and whatever you need in the morning, just let me know.
It is not necessary. I actually know. If Belfarin could send another thing of milk,
of course.
That would be
whatever
good.
You need.
Yeah. Thank you.
You've given us so much, my lady. In fact, there was one thing that I wish to give you as, well, gratitude for your time, of course, but also your hospitality. And he reaches into his satchel and he pulls out one of his 3 vials of perfume. And this one is scented specifically hyacinth and papaya. And hands it off to her and says it's a fragrance from our land that is often worn by esteemed nobles. It's quite pleasant. Let this be a gift from our culture to yours.
Takes it and opens it and smells it. Sorry, I'm still a bit in shock. This is lovely. It smells lovely. Thank you, and I hope our hospitality is everything you need. we're at your service, and I'm sorry this failed and you got so
No.
hurt.
Failed is
I,
not the right word.
Actually, will you sit with me for maybe 10 minutes in this room? And if she looks amenable to it, I would like to use my last 4th level spell to cast Fabricate. And I would
Okay.
like to spin kind of any sort of available extraneous, maybe like, I don't know, like I'm assuming Rasha doesn't have his coin purse with him. Actually, if Ascor has his bag, he might look up at Ascor and say, could I maybe borrow 10 gold or 15, 20, something like that, an amount.
Whatever you need. And he pauses
And
a bit.
Rasha's going to spin it into one of those sort of spinning multi-layered circle things, like an astrological sort of system with stars and things, with 2 little figures in the center, which look like little Alenia and ghosts kind of standing shoulder to shoulder within this little spinning thing. And so she'll kind of see the metal sort of weave together inside Rasha's hands, and it's super decorative and pretty. And as it kind of finishes casting, he'll probably just give it a little tap, spin one way and then the other, and then hand it to her and say, here you go, I feel really bad. That this didn't go so well. So here's something for your sons.
This is lovely. I quite a likeness. It's very kind. But, thank you for the attempt. I really do appreciate it. If there's anything I can do, maybe have some time to rest. Let me know.
Thank you.
We'll discuss this again when we're back. But remember, we want to surprise Ghost. Let's keep this a secret.
I hope so. Oh, absolutely. Okay.
Well, I think it's time, Rasha.
Yeah, let's go. It's probably still like maybe shoving a bit of napkin up one nostril and just throughout the crafting fabrication process was kind of occasionally just wiping blood off his nose.
So, as you guys go back to the room, Alvon kind of escorts you there. Do you guys, when you get back, do you talk about it, or give it to the morning, or whatever?
Probably quietly in the corridor or whoever's room we pass first. Rash is going to lean against the door for him to say, Ascor. That star, whatever it is blocking any attempt at reaching Roman. It sounds really bad. You know the things we have fought, the kind of hits I can take. That really, really hurt Ascor.
I thought you were going to die, and this is Ascor speaking telepathically. I thought you were going to die. I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. Be your body. Ghost mom. Oh. I'm glad you're alive, though.
Well, thank you. I don't think
Look.
you could lift my body, so it would be quite bad.
I wasn't going to lift your body. I'd probably let one of the servants deal with your corpse.
Yeah, you could probably get servants to lift my body, that is true.
Yeah.
So we learned nothing, really.
Well,
I can try Scry again tomorrow, but I don't know.
Hold on. And Ascor turns to his satchel. Looks around a bit, opens it up, and just sort of lifts it up to Rasha, I'd see into. And he swamped a couple
of the good job, Ascor. That is really. I feel so bad about doing that to a loving mother in her missing and potentially dying son's study. But I hope we can save him or do something to help Ghost, because this seems really bad, Ascor. Really,
Yeah, it's
really
not a
bad.
good sign, is it? So, look, I don't talk about this anymore. We've got the books. So I want to go to sleep. Maybe Haydn, maybe he can read this crap, and I don't know.
All right.
I'll go talk to Haydn briefly.
Okay. Good night, Ascor.
And good night, Rasha.
Rasha kind of gives him an awkward pat on the shoulder. It's almost like a swat. He's trying to mimic some kind of fond gesture he's seen maybe Haydn or Ghosty casually, and it probably just comes off as a really stilted pat. He just
Ascor sort of stops as he's walking away as he feels the tap and sort of looks at Rasha, just like, yeah. Like, what?
I know that was a comforting pat.
Of course it was.
It didn't work, did it? Okay. Yeah.
It's fine, just probably not again, please.
Right. No, I won't. No. Good night, Ascor. And he turns on his heel really quickly and kind of like beelines back to his room.
And Ascor, yeah, Jamie?
No, sorry, go on.
Ascor was then going to approach Haydn's room with a light.
You hear the sliding of lock mechanisms from the inside, and then he like kind of peeks through the little slit. Oh, it's you. Okay. Opens the door. Come in.
Ascor comes in.
He closes the door, locks it really quietly. He's kind of waiting for the telepathic link to start up.
Is there a table in this room, Jamie?
Yeah.
Cool. In that case, Ascor sort of goes over to a table and casts Mage Hand, this time with a verbal and somatic component, and brings out from his satchel and puts down 2 books on the table. Do they have a green star on the front, or was there some kind of... of the books?
Right. Sorry, title of the books. One. So one actually had a drawing of like the celestial kind of map on the front, with the star there. Hence why you grabbed it. And the other one had its iconography with a couple of others, and it was called Creatures.
Is it in common?
Creatures. So it would be in common. Creatures and elder evils of the far realms.
Oh,
Oi,
sounds
oi.
positive.
Yeah, it's the good shit. So it's another gentle trip to the Feywild, guys. Yay!
The far realms for elder evils.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
And with those 2 books to read,
yeah,
and given the time, with that as well, I will say that there is one of your party who has fallen asleep. And whilst you guys have been doing your shenanigans, and Haydn has been professing odd love for Aku, to escape from it all, Aku has fallen asleep and awoken, standing in front of a gargantuan purple star hovering a few meters above his head. And if you look to, and as you kind of stand up, breathing heavily, looking from side to side again, you look to your left, and there's standing Ghost. Ever such a slight smile on his face, that you quickly look to your right, and you see the same mass of black. Ramon's face is there, and you see them run at each other. And then the star kind of absorbs all 3 of you. And that's where we'll leave the session.
Bro.
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Thank you for tuning in, everybody, for our test stream. Appreciate any feedback on everything. As I said before, we play every Tuesday, 7:30 GM. Please drop us a follow at D&D Boyband and let us know what you think of the show. Take care, and we'll see you all soon.
And next week we're playing on Monday.
And next week we'll be playing on Monday, but I think
except next week, and it's going to be Monday.
Just to clarify, I've asked Eski. Eski can make it Monday, so everybody can make it Monday. I'm happy to move it. I think, Saya, you're the only person. Can you make it Monday?
Yep, I said that.
Okay, fair enough. In which case, we can all make it Monday. I'll rearrange my other thing, and we'll have that'll be a full person thing. If we want to have that be our first proper stream where we advertise, great. Otherwise, we can leave it to the 29th. But everybody will be here on Monday, which is great.
Exciting!
up.
Yay! Thanks everyone.
Woohoo!
That's fun. Oh
Yo.
my god.
Erin, thank you very much for sorting all this, by the way.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Seriously,
Great
It's-
job, guys.
Nailed it,
It's
dude.
so impressive. I'm overawed.
cool.
And we'll get you a present when we do our
no,
full
you
stream.
guys want to do that. Thank you so much everyone for writing your character bios and like sending me reference images so I can draw your characters and stuff. It's been fun, so I'm glad that it's all
I think I'm gonna
come
move
together.
my.
There I was feeling so remorseful for us sneaking around Ghost's house.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, we're horrible people.
So
I can't believe in his own home. And then he's standing there in the dream all like smiling. Oh, what I'm so
It's
sus.
literally a dream, though.
Yeah, but is
I dream about people. It doesn't mean they're there.
Dungeons and Dragons dreams, though, mediated by the DM.
But also, if Ghost was in that dream, does that mean that Ghost is actually sleeping?
Right, but Ghost can't. Ghost doesn't sleep.
So
there's something of Ghost
lucid dreaming. Ghost, you just got even more sus.
Well, maybe
So
part
suspicious
of
you.
Ghost is dreaming, and some of it isn't. And
You guys are
We'll
way
come
too
to the books.
sus.
Yeah, we'll come to the books next time. You guys have a paladin. How bad could any one of you be?
If the bar for goodness in our party is our paladin,
Our drug dealer paladin,
Mm.
who may or may
10th
not
level
be
drug
evil
dealer.
alignment.
Oh man.
Oh.
Look, I'm a paladin. How bad could I be?
That awkward moment when the rogue is the nicest person in your party.
He's a very nice
no.
boy today.
Vash is a nice boy.
I made a nice present for Ghost Mom.
it's gonna bring Geboleth onto this plane and destroy us all.
Yeah, my end goal is to unleash the Queen of Aboleths, just so I have a friend.
Yeah, I feel that was kind of brushed over.
Yeah, that was like Loki. Nadan was like absolutely outraged, and everyone else was like,
Not
"Yeah,
right
I guess
now,
that's
Nadan.
not right now, Nadan."
So, like, Nadan is so inconsequential. It's just Rasha. He says shit like this all the time.
Oh,
Being a bit weird. Don't worry, we'll talk him out of it at the last minute. Like,
I'm gonna save Nadan though. That's my true goal in this story.
I have
to save Nadan's soul.
I have highlighted in 40-point font. New side quest: Save Nadan from Lolth.
Oh,
And I don't even know if it's a side quest. Maybe it, next arc.
You should definitely do it.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of taking because I don't actually fully understand. I probably need to chat to Ben about it. Don't actually fully understand like the Drow are all kind of semi-enslaved. So I'm taking the Eldar route from 40k, that they're kind of forced from birth into servitude.
Oh.
Alright, I'm gonna end the stream, but I'll stick around afterwards for Discord chat. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and hopefully see you all on Monday.
Thank you everybody for the test stream.
Bye.
But I can't let you go. And maybe you found someone. I'm better off alone. Something better came along. But I can't let you go. But I can't let you go. And maybe you found someone. I'm better off alone. Something better came along, but I can't let you go.
Yes, it is super interesting.
Oh, I forgot to mute the microphone. Whoops.
As I lay me down to sleep, I hear them speak to me. Hello, Mari, how you doing? I think the storm ran out of rain, the clouds are moved. I know you're happy, cause I can see it. So tell the voice inside your head to believe.